Boy, what a beautiful night we got to play some football.
We've talked about this multiple times, how excited we are. And again, like you said, it's a beautiful night for some football. There's a breeze, so we know it's not miserably hot like it has been over the past 2 weeks. We may get a chance for some sprinkles come late in the game, but who knows? You couldn't ask for a better weather to start them.
Absolutely. Obviously on Thursday night, a little bit different, not quite the Friday night feel, but that's all right. It'll make for a good game. Boomers, as mentioned, welcoming Guymon to town. Kind of a new look Guymon squad. Last time we played them in 2021, they've gone a bit different since then. They selected to go the independent route instead of playing in class, usually 5A, 4A. And since that point have played a kind of a smattering of opponents, right? They'll play some Texas schools, some Kansas schools, and Colorado schools before over this stretch. Still on the independent circuit for this year and next year. And then they, leadership said basically they'll look at potentially joining conference or class again, I should say, after that. But big deal for them coming to this was they were 5-4 last year. So that was their first winning season in over 20 years under first-year head coach Jake Martinez. And a team that physically looks a little bit different. I think you say a guy we can watch a little bit pre-game. For the Boomers, though, Eric, coming into the season, young last year, got a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger over the course of the summer, maybe matured a little bit. So two teams that are really trying to kind of build themselves up.
Yeah, and I've talked about with a lot of people culture, and I think that's really what both of these programs are going through right now is a culture build. Guymon may be just a tad ahead of Woodward right now as far as what they're getting that confidence and learning how to win games and things like that. But, this Boomer squad is hungry. They are a lot more of a cohesive unit than they had past few years. So, I think that Woodward is ready to take that next step in that culture build.
Absolutely. Of course, we're not alone up here at the booth. We've got a man down on the sideline with us this year, Northwestern Oklahoma State senior, former Moreland guy, Ely Noble. Ely, how you feeling tonight for some football?
Well, man, I mean, back to what you guys were saying about the weather. I mean, this is football weather if there ever was one. This is perfect. I mean, you got not only just the weather, you got all the fans in the crowd. Perfect opening week here. You got the young cheerleaders out here giving their little performance. That's perfect pregame football, if you ask me.
Yes, the tiny cheerleaders, if you will, that cheer team had their clinic in the over the last week or so, and get the little Boomers out here cheering. So if you're watching on Boomer TV, you can see that. See a little presentation right now going on. But Ely, you've been in the player side of this, of course, with the Bearcats. Getting week 0, or week 1 in some cases. Man, there's no better feeling than after a long, hard summer coming out and playing some football finally.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially for these Boomers, they're ready. Last year quite what they wanted, so they're ready to get out here and try to get a week 0 win. Start this season off, the way they wanted to start last season off. So it's exciting to be out here and get to watch this football game.
That it is. We're going to go ahead at this time, take a little break, come back with the Guymon head coach, Jake Martinez, kind of get a deeper insight into the opponent, if you will, right after this break. You're listening to Boomer Football on Z92 and Boomer TV.
Every family has a story filled with chapters of love, laughter, and dreams for the future. But what if one day you're not there to help write the next chapter? Life is unpredictable, but your love for your family shouldn't be. With State Farm Life Insurance, Guymon, Matthews, and Woodward can help ensure your story continues, even when you're not there to turn the page. Protect the chapters yet to come. Talk to Guymon Matthews, because your story deserves to be told.
And joining me now is the head coach of the Guymon Tigers, Mr. Jake Martinez. Coach, Good to have you on. Obviously, you guys rolling in to Boomer Stadium to take on Woodward to open the season. Really interesting story, I think, for you guys. Last year, you took over this program in the midst of them trying to rebuild, right? You're playing an independent schedule. You're not necessarily part of a class right now in Oklahoma, but you're playing good talent from multiple states, whether that's Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas, or abroad. And you guys had a 5-4 season, first winning season over 20 years. What did that mean for you to go out first year and witness your team be able to do that with you at the helm?
Yeah, no, like you said, we're in kind of that rebuild mode. So, doing the independent thing, we don't want to necessarily pick up some cupcake teams. So that's why we're playing teams like Woodward, and we have some other good teams that we're going to play this year. But, last year was a cool experience for me because, it was my first year ever as a head coach. So it was cool, a cool experience, but it was also cool for these guys. A big thing, there wasn't really that much pride in the football program whenever I took over, and that's what we try to instill into these guys, and I think we've done a good job of it so far. We're trying to take that next step and being, our goal is to be the premier team with Panhandle, and right now we're far from it, but I think we're taking that next step, and this is a good year to do it.
And, you lose some good senior leadership from that squad, but speaking to your point of trying to build that program back up, you bring back 16 seniors, and some key guys. One I want to get into is Connor Stelzer, big tackle, good size. By all indications from the guys, not only a good player, obviously, but a good guy off the field, too, a good leader. So what does it mean to have a guy like that you can point to as you're trying to rebuild this program to your younger guy? This is a person that's, you really need to try to exemplify as what we're trying to do here.
Yeah, like you said, we got 16 seniors, and we had some more come out for their last year of high school, and that's always a good thing when you have a bunch of returners coming back. And Connor Stelzer, man, he's an awesome kid. He's exactly what we want everybody in the program to be like. He does a great job of being a leader, not only for the football program but in the community. He's been a part of a lot of community service projects for us, which we take pride in doing stuff like that. But, we have a lot of freshman offensive linemen right now that probably look up to that guy. And he's a good leader. He's never just belittling everybody. He does a good job of just building them up. And, I think it's good for me because, you got a guy with experience. And when you have leaders on the offensive line, that's typically going to lead to a pretty good offensive line. So I've been really proud to have Connor, and I'm excited to see what he does this year.
And going into year 2 for you at the helm of the team, where do you feel you're at this season compared to last year? Obviously, I'm sure, further ahead in what you guys are trying to do. Talk about the summer you guys had and some of that big progress you maybe felt like you made over the summer.
Yeah, and compared to last year, it was trying to, the guys were new to me and I was new to the guys, so building that relationship last year took a little bit. Building trust with your team usually can take a little bit of time, especially at a place like this where they've had quite a few coaches come in, and but over time I ended up building their trust and they gave me theirs. One cool thing that I thought last week when we had our scrimmage was, man, we're way up to speed compared to last year. We had a few plays in, and compared to this year, we had way more in than I thought we were actually going to have. So that's cool because they all understand the terminology and they kind of understand what the expectations are. We want to play fast and we want to play hard and we want to be tough guys. I told them I'll never be mad at them as long as they get me effort. That's the biggest expectation, and they do a pretty good job of that. So I think going into this year compared to last year, it's awesome because they understand what I expect out of them, and I expect really high things.
And looking a little bit further at that offensive guy that you've kind of pointed to maybe going into the season that could be an X factor for you guys is Damian Ozeta, senior, being able to move him around, get him the ball in space. How do you take a guy like that and try to maximize him, knowing that he could very much be a big time weapon for you?
Yeah, no. So Damian kind of reminds me of he's kind of like a Percy Harvin, Tavon Austin kind of guy for us. He's not the biggest guy in the world, but he can do a lot of things really good. So the goal is just to get the ball in that guy's hand and let him make some magic happen. I think this year will be a good step for him. Last year he was suspended for 2 games early on due to a problem he had the year before. But, his character has developed a lot, and he's taken that next step and being a leader for us. And that's ultimately led to him being a really good player for us. So I think Damien's about to have a pretty good year as well.
Where do you feel you're at on the defensive side of the ball? I know one of those seniors, we talked about Jonathan Christian at linebacker. Talk about some of those guys that you expect to step up because, as you know, playing the schedule you are, definitely going to need some primetime defense this year, or the Tigers.
Yeah, no, it's we're not playing the Big 12 where you can just give up as many points as you want and try to win the game. You got to have some stops coming. So our defense, we call them the Orange Swarm, and they fly around pretty well. Jonathan Christian, like you said, he's a returning linebacker for us. He played a lot last year, and he's done a great job of being a leader. He was one of the captains that the players voted for this past spring, and he's done a great job of it. Always coming to summer workouts, going to 7-on-7, and doing the extra stuff. Another guy on defense, would be Abraham Mendoza. He's a junior defensive end for us. I think he's been starting for the Guymon Tigers for 2 years now, and this year I expect some really big things out of that guy. He took a bigger leadership role, which is always exciting, and it's led to him being a lot better of a player. His summer attendance was perfect, which was awesome for us, and I expect big things out of him, and also I expect big things out of our sophomore corner as well, Andy Ozeta. Last year he came onto the scene as a freshman. And some of it, I was kind of scared at first because you're starting the freshman at corner, and he did a great job, and I'm expecting big things out of him this year.
And Coach Stern, the focus this week, of course, being the road team, coming into Boomer Stadium, you got to kind of meet with Coach Gordon throughout the process of Class Bowl this year as we had you down for that. What do you think of this Woodward team as you kind of look at them deeper? Obviously, they're still a bit younger, but what are some of the things they do well and, that you guys are kind of on the lookout for?
Yeah, no, Coach Gordon, I think he's doing a good job. Like you guys said, we're both kind of in that rebuild phase. But, the last time Guymon and Woodward played, Woodward won 51-8. So I got to remind our guys about that. We have a little bit of a chip on our shoulder. But Woodward does some weird things offensively, not weird but crazy, and exotic. Sometimes they'll get into those quads or at an empty, and so they give you a bunch of different looks, which is always complicated for a defense because you got to prepare for a lot of things. It looks like on defense they do a great job of flying around to the ball. I think it's going to be a really good game, though, and I think that you guys are also on that next step where this year will be a lot better than last year.
With that, we thank Coach Martinez for his time, insight, and thoughts as the Boomer pregame show rolls along on Z92 and Boomer TV.
Back at Boomer Stadium, Z92 Boomer TV, and the show is making roll along. And Eric, looking at that series history, we alluded to it a little bit. We get to it here quickly before the band performs. Last time these two teams played, 2021, Woodward got that win 51-8. But Woodward has also won the last 10 matchups. You mentioned this to me off air. Last loss, 2007 to the Tigers. That was a defensive struggle, 11-6.
Yeah.
So a bit of a back and forth out there. All time in games at least recorded back to 1953. The Boomers lead the series 34-21 in terms of the win-loss record. And the band getting in formation, I should say, right now, getting ready to perform. Should have the national anthem coming up here at about 6:50. So once we get to that, we will, of course, get that. But while we've got the time, let's get to our starting lineups presented by State Farm agent Wayne Matthews. Remember, you could go talk to Wayne Matthews about creating a personal price plan to help you save money and protect yourself and your loved ones. 1400 9th Street in Woodward. Wayne Matthews sponsoring the starting lineups.
Anyone else?
This
Fine.
season.
Jake from State Farm.
Okay. All right. It's the personal price plan theorem. If you bundle your home and auto, that can equal an affordable price just for you. Bundling. Just another way to save with the personal price plan. Like a good neighbor.
Who can solve this equation?
Bourne playing both ways this year, going from linebacker spot, but also going to the tight end fullback role. I've heard got some formations.
And I like it because I mean, if anybody has seen Kaysen in person, he is a shorter, thicker kid. Yeah. And I'm excited to see him run the ball a little bit.
All right, so we're going to pause at the starting lineups here as it looks like the band, Daisy Crockett and the Boomer Band ready to perform. So he will pick up some of that audio for us, and it's the Boomer Band.
At this time, and if you are able, we invite you to please stand. Before the playing of our national anthem, we will recognize a moment of silence so that you may, if you choose, reflect, meditate, pray, or engage in other silent activity. Please be respectful of others during this moment of silence. And now, at this time, please remain standing and face the American flag in the south end zone as the pride of Northwest Oklahoma, your Boomer Band, plays our beloved national anthem.
Band, hard knocks.
And there was the Boomer Band playing the national anthem for us there, beautiful rendition for the Boomer Band. And continuing in the starting lineups for the Boomers, looking at that offensive line, looking at the skill guys there before the national anthem. We got Creighton, we got Cerrone at left tackle, the big sophomore. Eric, this was a guy I know you liked a lot last year, and he's continued to grow pretty well. Adrian Cruz, the junior offensive lineman at left guard. Center, John Ortega tonight, big man, another one at 270. At right guard, it is Zaylin Flores, kid out of Winoka, joined us. He's a senior this year, but came over from there and gets placed in the 11-man ball. He'll start at right guard. And right tackle, Drake Roberts, anchoring that offensive line for the Boomers. Looking at the defensive side, we're flipping on the D-line. You got Tripp Bates, the sophomore, and the tackle for Marco, the sophomore. At the other defensive tackle spot, it's Adrian Garcia, a freshman, and a defensive end man who made a lot of plays last year for the Boomers as a freshman. Going forward, he'll take over there, the sophomore defensive end. Linebacker spots got Levi Harris, the sophomore, middle linebacker, Casey Moore, the senior. Got another freshman in line, Caleb Hutton, at the other outside linebacker spot. Looking at the secondary, got Jake Graff at the corner position, as well as Cooper Latal, that's a sophomore and senior. In the DB roles, it is Mason Boring, a senior free safety, and strong Colin Boring, a sophomore. And should we need the nickel corner, that'd be Colton Boring, a sophomore as well. And Eric, I think kind of the big thing with this, of those starting lineups that we'll notice on the two deep is, and Coach Gordon's kind of been adamant about this, you're going to see a lot of different guys. It's not just going to be a hard set to those starters. You're going to see a lot of different contributors.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of different guys, a lot of different athletes out there. You know, but the one thing that really sticks out to me, if, you know, anybody was, you know, really paying that much attention, was how young we are. You know, and if you look at the two deep, especially on like the defensive side, you know, the front line, the two deep, there was only one upperclassman. They were all freshmen, sophomore beyond that. Yeah. You know, and so that's just, to me, that's exciting more than it is anything.
It is, you know, and I think physically from that standpoint, you see the youth, but you know those guys have been in the weight room. They've been pumping. I think you can see that. Something we've talked about a lot off here. They've gotten bigger, faster, stronger. They've been focused on that. And Ely, you know, when you're a player and you know you're seeing those gains in the weight room, it gives you a little confidence, doesn't it?
Yeah, especially for not only yourself, but for us. We was just talking about that earlier. We saw a little bit of size put on some of them kids that were obviously freshmen, sophomores last year. You know, they're starting to develop. So it's obviously exciting to see, exciting to feel, and can obviously give you that confidence that you may need.
Absolutely, and both teams coming out of the locker room, getting ready to come out of the locker room. The Tigers on the far side of the field to us, coming out, and the Boomers, looks like they got the band lined up, getting ready to welcome them. And before we get there, I do want to remind you that Boomer Sports this year powered by Great Plains National Bank. Heritage, trust, respect. These are the things that make Great Plains Bank great. With deep roots across Oklahoma and Texas, they are in touch with the communities in which they people live and work. Check out Great Plains Bank, powering Boomer Sports this year with us. Fellas, as we get ready to see the teams come out of the tunnels, what's some of the keys to the game that kind of come to your mind tonight? I mean, Guymon's going to be a team a little smaller, try to use some of that speed in the open space with a few of their talented guys we heard Coach Martinez talk about. Hey, Eric, what's something that you want to see from the Boomers tonight?
You know, you kind of alluded to their speed and things like that. You know, and I've kind of mentioned their athleticism. You know, don't over pursue. A lot of times that's what young guys like to do. They want to go get the hit. You know, they want to, you know, get the highlight, but sometimes you got to slow down, let things happen. And that's what I think Woodward needs to do tonight. You know, and just work on building that confidence. You know, this is a team that's got to learn how to win. You know, and so if you try to do too much, you're going to let a game slip away from you that you should be winning.
Ely, that kind of leads me to you, because I know we talked about it off air. That was something that you want to see from this squad, is the fact that you want to see them finish this year, as opposed to some of those games last year where, you know, third quarter, second half, it seemed they ran out of gas.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we talked about it earlier. You know, into the first half, you got 5-7 point ball game, and you're like, all right, this is going to be a good one. And then it's coming to the third quarter, and the opposing team would kind of open up the floodgates. So that's something me and you would like to see. You know, like execute down the stretch. You know, don't let people outside, as Eric said. You know, your help's in the middle. Just always remember that.
Now we've got the captains coming to the center field, both the Tigers and the Boomers. We found out Cooper Lataw, Casey Bourne, Luke Parkhurst, Ryan Douglas Fisher, the 4 captains this year for the Boomers. And if you're watching on Boomer TV, you see them now beating at the 50 with the Tigers. Officials for the game today, we have got Kevin Atkins, the referee, Kevin Jones, an umpire, Randall Rouse, the head linesman, the line judge is Chad Thompson, and James Ferris is the back judge. That's the crew here tonight. Making sure we got everything going on well in the game. And Eric, depending on where you win or don't win the toss, you one of those that like to receive, or do you want to kick first and let the defense win?
You know, I think honestly, I would like to receive, just because you got a lot of young guys. You know, see if you can get that momentum going. See if you can get that confidence. You know, especially you got a guy like Cash Carter, who, yeah, he got multiple games under his belt last year, but still, he's only a sophomore. So do everything you can to build the excitement moving forward in the game.
I like it. Ely, what about you? You trying to start on defense or offense here if you're the Boomers?
I'm going to start on defense, you know, because like he just pointed out, the quarterback, he's a sophomore. I mean, if you can get a big stop on defense, that gives that quarterback just that much more confidence, you know. A good stop on defense, he's excited, he's amped up. You know, the whole offensive line, everybody's just watching their defense get a stop, and that hypes them up, and the execution could be even better after seeing that.
There you go. So 2 varying reasons to start either on offense or defense. Great crowd out on the field. Of course, you got the band, got some of the kids out there. Bunch of the little Boomers performing their cheer routine earlier today.
Now, one thing you'll see coming around Boomer football, you know, and I've talked about culture, is the young kids.
Yeah.
The 3rd, 4th grade team, the Boomer team, the 5th and 6th grade Boomer team, they're here. They're on the sideline. You know, they're getting a part of that Friday night or Thursday night game day atmosphere. You know, and so I'm excited as the program continues to move forward.
And while you're saying that, the Guymon Tigers won the coin toss. They deferred, and Woodward will receive. So we'll see that offense up first. And Cash Carter. And guys, somebody I want to mention, of course, it's very important tonight on the helmets for the Boomers. Very touching tribute. Of course, we lost the great Johnny McMahon way too soon this summer due to battle with cancer. And the Boomers have got a special decal on their helmets. It's got a sketch of Johnny. His family is here tonight to kind of honor him. his younger brother, Bobby McMahon, his sister, Connie Robbins, also in attendance. Johnny was, I mean, Eric, he was at everything. He was everywhere, and just was a pillar of this community, and he will be missed.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, you know, earlier with somebody up here in the press box, was trying to remember games that Johnny wasn't at. Yeah. You know, especially on the varsity side, he was everywhere. You know, I got to the high school in 97, 98, or yeah, no, 98, 99. Johnny was there. You know, and I'll always remember seeing Johnny on the sideline. So it's gonna be a strange year around Boomer Athletics not seeing him around.
Absolutely, and of course, great on the Boomers to have that touching tribute, honoring just one of the greats of the community. Well, with that, as far as the game goes, both teams kind of ready to get their final huddles as they're going through that. About to get introduced are the Boomers, and big shout out again to Boomer TV. Man, Chris Godwin and that crew have done a great job taking care of whatever we need to connect this thing and continue to enhance and improve that broadcast. And that's, you know, not just here, but throughout the year. We were talking with them kind of yesterday. Myself and Sean Kelly's got some great ideas, some things that I know are on the way as far as potential enhancements for the broadcast. So we'll only get better from here, and greatly appreciate Chris Godwin and that Boomer TV group, made up of students, obviously, at Woodward High School, for continuing to put in their hard work and bring you the best both worlds as listener interviews. Yeah,
and I mean, there's a lot of high schools that they have some kind of live stream, you know, through whether it's their own or through other providers, but you know, the work between the student group with Boomer TV and the radio, that just adds that much to the broadcast. And you know, I'm glad that, you know, we've got students out here working with us.
Absolutely, and there comes the Woodward Boomers. Out through the tunnel with the WH&S flags in front of them, carried by a few of the cheerleaders. The Boomers have entered the field. Eric wearing some very new, nice, white, clean home uniforms. Got kind of a different helmet as well with the W on one side. Looks like the numbers on the other.
Yeah, I mean, it's different than, you know, we talked about. I like seeing the young kids running out there with them too. Yeah, you know, we got a little pile up.
Yeah, pile up traffic jam.
You know, but like I said, we look clean. You know, and there's that adage of, you know, look good, play good, and I think there is something to that. You know, and again, you're going to hear me say culture a lot. You know, and as you continue to build that culture, little things like that just to bring a little bit of excitement is something you could add. And I think the kids and the Booster Club and all that have done a great job being able to provide the funds to get this new stuff.
Speaking of funds getting new stuff, the school had invested in a robot to paint the field over the summer.
Yes.
And we're seeing that out here today. If you watch on Boomer TV, that field looks great. It was out here yesterday while we were kind of going through our run-through of hitting those hash marks and whatnot, so the field looking good for the start of the season.
And that's something a lot of people, you know, don't realize how much work would go into painting the field. They would spend Wednesday or Thursday night, they would be up here till midnight, 1, sometimes 2 o'clock in the morning, trying to get the field done on top of their daily duties, you know. And so this is just something that we can do. It looks clean, it looks professional, and you know, those guys aren't having to spend so much time away from their families now.
Absolutely, just another refinement to the Boomer program, if you will. Guymon will be wearing the road orange uniforms, white pants, helmets, got some Bengal white tiger stripes, if you will, on those. White numbers, a white outline in the Boomers, as you mentioned, those whole white uniforms, pants, white numbers, trim and gold for the Boomers. The helmets, straight black with white W and numbers on the other side, opposite of the W. The Boomers will receive the ball to start, and it looks like kicking this one off for the Tigers is going to be David Martinez, the senior, and have the kick-off duties. You know, for the Boomers, handling the returns, Ryan Douglas Fisher, Colt Moore should see some of that action as well as the deep returnment. Boomers going through that final huddle. And hey, we have an update as far as Boomer sports. Softball, you were telling me today, swept against Mount St. Mary's. I had the scores. There we go. You told me. Woodward won the first game, had a doubleheader down in the city. Won 12-7 the first game, 11-0. Shut them out the second game. Boomers now 10-4 overall on the season. And their next contest, which won't have it necessarily on radio, but will at least be there in Guymon, will be out next Tuesday at home. It was going to be a three-way initially with Shag included, but that got changed a little bit. So now it's just 5 o'clock at Guymon softball field.
Yeah, and it's great. It's great to see the girls get the bats going on, score some runs, because past few games they kind of struggle with that. I think a lot of that has to do with the heat, but everybody's got to deal with it. So.
All right, the Boomers spread out, ready to return it. Guymon spread out, ready to kick this one off. As again, doing the kickoff duties is David Martinez for the Tigers. Back deep, Brian Douglas Fisher, the senior, and Holt Ward for the Boomers. Douglas Fisher on the near hash to us, more on the far hash. Lined up just inside the 5, actually about the 2, just outside the goal line. Officials double checking, making sure everything's ready to go. Good crowd on hand for the Boomers tonight. Really showed out for the home opener. Got plenty of the youngins around too, as we mentioned. People still following, it looks like. There is the whistle. Hand in the air. Martinez jogs to the ball, and the ball's in the air. The season underway for the Boomers in the 2024 edition. And that's in the end zone, a touchback. As Ryan Douglas Fisher retreated to get, kind of just let it go. So the Boomers will start with the average field position, if you will.
I know this kind of sounds a little strange, but I like to sit there. I saw a little bit of chippiness from the Boomers out there. And, there's been times where you'd see them kind of back down a little bit. And, as long as you're doing it within the rules, hey, it's good to see a little bit of fire and enthusiasm.
I was having that conversation with a couple of the Boomer players. Where's the line on that? What's good fire, but what's too much to where it goes over the discipline issue? And you got to find that edge. So Cash Carter will be in the shotgun. Lead things for the Boomers back at quarterback. 5 wide to start on 1st and 10. First play of the ball game here in the first quarter. 3 receivers to the near side, 2 to the far side for Carter. Claps once, and it looks like somebody jumped. Is it Boomers or is it Guymon?
They're both pointed at each other, so we'll see what the ones who matter say.
Looks like that might be on Guymon. And it is. The Boomers get free 5 yards off the start. And that was on that side for the Boomers there. Trey Oyasarode he's only a sophomore, but that's maybe a little bit of a veteran move. That guy jumps, you kind of jump a little bit.
Right.
Get there, get the blame.
Good job for Cash as well to really sell this fact that he might be snapping it. And, sometimes Guymon can be a little undisciplined, and we're already seeing that.
5 wide again for Carter. Snap a bit high. He corrals it, chases it down in the backfield, but scrambles out. Floats a little pass, has a man open. Tip, did he catch it? No, they say incomplete. Intended for Cooper Latal on the near sideline, about the 37. Would have been a first down, just to throw a touch high.
And unfortunately, I think he may have been going for Jake Graff, who was about five yards more downfield. And of course, it's hard for Cooper to see that and being that close. And so, the good thing is we had some opportunities. We had some men open on that possession.
So 2nd and 5 for the Boomers. Carter again in the gun. 5 receivers, trips to the near 2 to the far side. Same formation. Nearest receiver appears to be Latal. Carter checking with his receivers, gets one clap. Oh, almost there, and it is another jump by the Tigers. That hard count affected Guymon early.
Yeah, they're showing blitz, and that's one thing that the Boomer coaching staff has noticed is, hey, they got those 2 guys that are really kind of setting up there. Let's see if we can use that aggressiveness against them and, draw them offside.
So 1st and 10 for the Boomers after the offsides. After the offsides. Carter in the gun again. Trips to the near, 2 to the far. Takes the snap. Quick throw over the middle looking for Douglas Fisher, and it's a touch high for him. Douglas Fisher on the slant was near the first down marker at the 40. Just couldn't corral.
I talked about the aggressiveness. Cash Carter took a shot in the backfield as soon as he threw it. He felt like it was a little late, and it was borderline, but, unless that flag comes out, it doesn't really matter. And so it's the Boomers trying to figure out how to, to kind of catch the Guymon off guard in those opportunities where they're blitzing.
Pistol formation for Carter on 2nd and 10, 11:48 remaining first quarter. End around handoff to Douglas Fisher on the jet pass, and that's strung out and in the backfield. Big tackle for the Tigers. Has a couple in on that one. would be Roman Ocha, the linebacker, as well as Jameson Montgomery coming in, the senior, to make the stop. No gain for the Boomers, 3rd and 10.
Something I'd like to see clean up before we get too far into this game is every snap has been high. Cash has had to jump up and to really grab every snap from going over his head. So, if the Boomers can clean that up and kind of make it a little bit smoother transition for Cash, whether it's a throw or a handoff, that would help out.
I actually say it was a loss of 2, so the Boomers back to the 28. Need to get to the 40. Carter in the pistol. 2 to the near, 2 to the far. Snap high again. This one over his head. He's got retreat. Falls back on it inside the 10-yard line. And that'll bring up 4th and very long for the Boomers. And they will have to punt. And Ely, I mean, those high snaps, is it just a case of nerves there? I mean, how do you correct that if you're the Boomers?
Well, it's kind of clear to me, Tyler, that the first game jitters are still there, I mean, Ryan Douglas, or quarterback Cash Carter, missed 2 decently easy throws there, a couple over snaps. I mean, they just need to get settled in.
Just got to collect themselves a little bit on the offensive side. Back to punt is Ryan Douglas. Fisher will be doing the kicker duties this year for the Boomers. See, of course, they're packed in tight in this formation. Make sure they're trying to get all the blocks. Guymon going to try to sell out 2, block in, flag before the snap. That one might be.
I think that might be a false start.
Might be. They'll discuss it.
Oh, are they going to say we got a timeout?
Woodward's going to get a timeout here.
Okay, so
perfect.
There's your call, timeout for the Boomers. While we've got this timeout, do remind you, Compass Athletics, powering Boomer sports this year. Compass Athletics, from sports equipment to championship trophies and everything in between. Visit them at 24 Main in Woodward, or call 580-256-7045. Compass Athletics, partner with the Boomers this season. So guys, first drive, get a first down, get Guymon to jump on some of those hard counts. But like I said, now you just got to settle in a little bit, let those nerves kind of fade away. And Eric, you mentioned there's some stuff open there for him on a few of those plays.
Yeah, but again, I think some of it, Neely's down there too. I think some of that is the high snap. He's not able to get everything in a smooth transition to this throwing hand and things like that because he's having to try to wrangle the ball. And
that snap goes out of the end zone. It's a safety for the Boomers, well over the head of Ryan Douglas Fisher. So it's a safety, worst case scenario there for the Boomers. So Guymon takes a 2-0 lead over the Boomers with 10-12 to go in the first quarter. And they will get the ball back after the safety. I do want to remind you, of course, on our stream, Just Wells is our scoreboard sponsor. Just Wells Chevrolet in Shattuck is where your honesty is not just a word, it's how they drive every deal. Visit JustWellsChevrolet.com or call them 580-938-2122.
Unfortunately, now you just made the first Guymon possession is that much of a bigger deal for the Boomer defense, because you don't want to go up 2 scores really quick. You want to be able to, hopefully they're punting pretty quick and get a little bit. But we saw that last year where the defense each game got better.
It did.
We have a very defensive-minded coaching staff. So hopefully right away we're going to see the defense stick Guymon.
And for the Tigers leading that offense, quarterback will be Malachi Martinez, the senior. 5'11", 165, not the tallest guy, but as me and Eric mentioned, they want to use that speed. They want to get guys in space. Definitely want to watch out for Damian Martinez. Your coach, Jake Martinez, call him a Percy Harvin type guy. Move him around. He is in the receiver spot. Sometimes they'll get some handoffs. They just want to find ways to get him in space. Also see sophomore Andy Zeta kind of take on that role as well. Isaiah Dunnigan takes some snaps. And Martinez isn't taking it. Running back will be kind of the down-to-down back, if you will, junior. And returning for the Tigers will be Andy Ozeta, previously mentioned sophomore. He's on the near hash. Douglas Fisher gets set for this safety punt.
Looks like they're going to go off the tee.
Okay.
Douglas Fisher.
Go off the tee. The other guy returner on the far side is Damian Ozeta. So the Ozeta's back to return. trail 2-0. 10-12 left to go in the first quarter. Guymon about to get their first offensive possession of the game.
I'm wondering if we might see like a squib type of kick here.
Joseas are dangerous on their feet. Keeping away from them might be the best option. A little bit of a sky kick, so it's shorter, not targeted to Joseas, and it's buffed. Ball's on the ground, and Guymon just recovered it. Looks like Abraham Mendoza, usually playing defensive end, was first to get their hands on it, went through his hands, and he somehow fell back on.
Colin Bourne coming downfield, he saw the ball hit the ground, and he hit another gear, and I mean he dove, 3 or 4 yards and trying to get to that ball, but it was recovered by Guymon.
So the Tigers will take over at their own 45. Good field position off the sky kick. And the Boomer defense led by Casey Bourne at that middle linebacker spot. Will take their first cracks. They're trying to slow down this Guymon offense. As Malachi Martinez starts in the gun, trips to the near side. And back in the backfield with him is Duggan. Snap. A little bit of a bobble by Martinez. Quick bubble screen gets it to Andy Ozeda, and a quick burst for Ozeda as he goes across the 50-yard line, gets tackled in Boomer territory, short of the first down at about the 46.
Right away, that kind of what we were talking about over pursuing. If he would have just let the play happen in front of him, we would have probably got him near the line of scrimmage. Quick
snap for the Tigers. They hand off to Dungan, and he's going to surge forward, get that first down across the 40, gets down into the 37, it looks like, maybe 38. And Guymon moving quick, no huddle yet again. They got the first 10.
Mason Boring in there on the tackle.
And now a quick flag before the snap. They're going to get the Boomers for offsides.
Same thing, got a little excited, pre-game jitters. Again, these are young kids, that don't have a whole lot of experience, when in the grand scheme of things, and they're ready to get at the quarterback too, and he just got a little excited and jumped.
So Guymon's got 1st and 5 on the Boomer 33. Have to get to the 28 for the first down. 9:25 to count down to go in the first quarter. Still scoreless in the ball game here at Hoover Field. Wind picking up a little bit. And the gun is Martinez. Motions a man around. 2 backs with him. No pitcher behind him. To Dunnigan. Dunnigan running into some traffic, and a trio of Boomers there for the stop. No gain, if not a loss. The flags come in late.
Adrian Garcia and Levi Harrison on the tackle for the Boomers.
Yeah, Tyler, number 44, Bowen Martin got through, and he got held right there.
So Bowen Martin, not surprising, being able to draw some holding calls. That kid is a force to try to stop. That's what it is, a holding call. Back him up 10.
Holding on the Tigers.
Again, that's what, we talked about, teams that, are kind of in that building mode. Sometimes they make those undisciplined mistakes like that. We'll unfortunately see it at times the Boomers too, but, Morton able to bust through the line right there, and, they just reached out and grabbed his jersey.
So it makes it 1st and 16 for Guymon. Martinez in the gun, hands off to Dunning again, out of the pistol. This time finds a little bit more room as he skates across the 40. Down back inside the 37. Still a gain, but still going to set up a 2nd and about, looks like 9, maybe 10 for Guymon. I'll call it 2nd and 9, so gain of 7. And again, the no huddle for Guymon. Now they check back to the sideline. Martinez in the gun, 2 backs beside him. Dunnigan as well as Ezekiel De Herrera. And split look. Martinez will snap, it was pitch out Duncan. Man, the backfield can't quite make the tackle. Maybe it was Casey Ford. Still runs into a host of Boomers just past the line of scrimmage. It's maybe a yard or 2 to the 35. Call it 3rd and 7.
Trip Bates had it red in the backfield. Again, it kind of goes back to we're over pursuing. I think once we slow down, that's 3rd opportunity I've seen on this drive where we got to him in the backfield, but we couldn't get much on him.
8 minutes to go in the first quarter. Guymon leads 2-0 as Martinez hands it off to Duncan. This time finds a hole. They get to the first down mark. He's going to be right on top of it at the 28 on 3rd and 7. We'll see where they spot it. Looks like it's a first down, they say. So an 8-yard run gets the first down for Guymon. Just that quick hitter up the gut. That time the hole was in.
great job by the Guymon coaching staff to recognize that, you know, the Boomers are getting off on the staff and they are getting into the backfield really quick. So let's just kind of use that aggressiveness against the Boomers and run it up the middle.
First and 10, Martinez in the gun for Guymon. At 28 again, a pitch to Duncan, a little bit of a hole on the right side. Cuts it back up, finds it across the 25 down to the 24. A gain of 4 for the Tigers on first.
Mason Boring again in on the tackle for that. Unfortunately, you know, I don't like seeing these DBs in on the tackles as much.
Right.
You know, because either that means that Guymon is getting into that intermediate or the secondary range and forcing them to come up.
So second and 6 for Guymon. 6:55 to go in the first quarter. They lead 2-0. Snap at the Boomer 24. Goes to D. Herrera. Left side holds open. Makes a man miss. Gets down to the 5-yard line before he's finally dragged down by Kason Bourne. And Guymon has a first and goal after the big run from D. Herrera. And the no huddle. Martinez again in the gun. The quick snap, the bubble screen. They go out to Andy Ozeta. Tries to dive for it. Boomers looks like they denied him at the 1. Ooh, Ozeta's sold out for that one.
I kind of like what Guymon did there. Just try to catch the Boomers off guard and, you know, try to get that score quickly. But, you know, good job by the, especially the linebackers and DBs to step up there and create a wall and knock him, really kind of hit him and knocked him back about a yard.
So second and goal for the Tigers at the Boomer 1. Martinez takes a snap of the pistol. They hand off to the defensive end. And Mendoza, and he just barely got across, it looked like. Took a lick.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out who made that contact on him. But he hit him right as he got to the goal line and knocked him back. It looks like maybe it was Kason Bourne who made that initial hit off the goal line. Unfortunately, the ball had already crossed the plane.
So on the kick to extra point, David Martinez for the Tigers as they now lead 8-0 with 6:07 to go in the first quarter. Looking to make it 9 as Guymon had one too many men on the field that day. Going to get it back to the side. The kick, ooh, almost blocked. And they say no good. It was blocked. Touched, Ely says. So they get a hand on it, Ely.
Number 14, Mason Boring got hold of that one.
There you go. So Mason, the senior, able to get a finger
all over the place early.
Yeah. The Tigers do take the 8-0 lead. 6:07 to go in the first quarter. 10-play drive for Guymon. Started at their own 45, 55 yards is the total yards covered there. Do want to thank, of course, or let you know that Boomer Sports is powered by R5 Custom Embroidery. When you work with R5 Custom Embroidery, you can count on a quick, fun, and enjoyable process with results that consistently exceed your expectations. Come chat with their screen printers by customized apparel. Visit 817 Main Street in Woodward or call them at 580-256-3579. R5 Custom Embroidery, one of the sponsors, powering Boomer Sports this season. So 8-0, Boomers trail, and now, guys, you got to find a punch back, right? So nerves maybe settled out of the way a little bit. Offense, as you mentioned a minute ago, Eric, some things were there. Just got to capitalize on those opportunities.
I mean, honestly, the only thing you can do is not worry too much about what the scoreboard says. You got plenty of time in this game. You know, honestly, defensively, we're getting opportunities. We've got to wrap up a little bit more. So, hey, let's just go out there, just do our job, and hopefully the offense can chip away at the Guymon lead.
So on the kick will be David Martinez yet again, back deep to receive. Douglas Fisher, Colt Moore. Douglas Fisher on the near, Moore on the far. This one heading towards Colt Moore. Builds it about to 3. Now cuts it to the near side, looking for a hole. Finds a block. Cuts up the middle. Colt Moore to the 35, to the 40. Trying to spin out of the tackle and gets struck down by the kicker. Boy, good return for Colt Moore.
Yeah, you know, awesome job by his blockers to create the holes that he got, and he did a great job of recognizing where the holes were. And you know, he's Colt's a coach's son. You know, whether it's on the basketball court or even on the football field, he's that coach for a long time as well. So, you know, very smart, high IQ kid, and he recognized the opportunity to give the Boomers good field possession.
They take over at their own 41, trailing 8-0. It's Cash Carter in the pistol. Running back behind him is Bourne. Colin Bourne trips the near one to the far end motion. Goes Douglas Fisher. High snap again. Carter able to retreat and fall on it. but it's inside the 30 and big loss on first down as they mark him at the 29.
Yeah, we've got to figure something out because that's every snap has been a high snap for the Boomers here early on.
Maybe just a communication thing. Ely mentioned some of those nerves. Just got to settle that in. Take it, get that one down.
Yeah, I don't know, but the coaching staff is not very happy right now. I'm going to step away from them.
Yeah, it's fair, understandable. So Cash Carter goes to the gun, 2 to the near, 4 receivers, 3 to the far. Empty for him. Guymon looking like they're bringing some pressure. Carter checking at the line. Play clock down to 2. Gets the snap. That one to Cleveland. Back pass, the quick out, looking for Parkhurst and incomplete. Just past the 30-yard line. Decent route by Parkhurst. Not a bad throw by Carter, just a tough catch.
Yeah, a tough catch, you know. And again, that goes back to a little early season, getting the chemistry built up.
So it'll be 3rd and 22 for the Boomers now, as they're backed up to their own 29 after the bad snap on first down. 5:08 left in the first quarter. The deep trail 8-0. As Carter goes to the pistol. Got a single receiver to the near side, 2 to the far tight end, Casey Bourne. The backfield looks like Parkhurst. Carter with the snap, clean one, back to pass, has some time, steps up in the pocket, now looking to take off, gets across the 30, lowers the shoulder, and drug down at about the 33, it looks like, so a short gain. Bring up 4th down for the Boomers.
You're starting to see a little bit of frustration for the Boomers. After that play, there was a little bit of extracurricular activity that, you know, like we said, there's also, you want to see a little bit of that fire as well.
So I bring on Ryan Douglas Fisher in the punting unit. Last snap was a bit high, so we'll see if we get this one down. Off that safety, that one a clean snap. Now Douglas Fisher with the rugby style kind of moves it, puts it up, and that one not the deepest punt as it bounces maybe at about the 50. Looks like Guymon at least going to start at the 50 or in plus territory. Looks like they marked 48.
Ely,
did you feel like the wind was able to hold that one up just a little bit more than?
Yeah, with the wind pushing you like that, that ball kind of low, and ball got in the sky a little bit, and wind took a hold of it.
So one affecting that one is Guymon takes over 1st and 10 at the Boomer 48-yard line. 4:24 left to go in the first quarter. Guymon leading 8-0 at the moment. See if the Boomer defense can come up with the stand. There's a lot of Isaiah Dunnigan, some D. Herrera as well as Equal D. Herrera, the senior. That's Bubbles involved in the school. Forgot him the last time. So it's Martinez, Malachi Martinez in the pistol. Got Rosetta behind him. Tight receivers bunch, 2 on each side. They fake it to one, and they tried to give it to maybe Andy Ozeta coming through with the big tackle. Trip Bates blowing that one up.
And, you know, that's what I was saying earlier. Trip was almost every play. He was in the backfield. You know, it was just sometimes he got a little too excited. Ran by and looks like we have an injury.
Yeah, Adrian Garcia, the freshman for the Boomers, a little shaken up. They'll tend to him. He's up off under his own power quickly. It just looks like maybe a stinger. Just kind of holding his shoulder. So see how he goes back to the sideline.
Looks like Zaylin is going to come in, so he, you know, now he's going to get both ways.
Yep, Zaylin Flores starting right guard, now in at D tackle as you mentioned. 2nd and 16 they say for the Tigers. All back to their own 46, so out of Boomer territory as Martinez in the gun yet again. 1 to the near, 3 to the far. Trips formation, 1 in the backfield. D. Herrera, they hand it off to him. A little bit of a hold left side, but flying in. A couple Boomers blowing that one up. Looks like Levi Harris got initial contact, and then finishing that off was Bowen Ward.
You know, really Guymon doesn't do anything special. You know, we know what they're going to do. You know, but it goes back to tackling. You've got to be able to wrap up. And on the big play they had was a missed tackle.
3rd and 15 for the Tigers. Got to get all the way to the Boomer 38. 3:30 to go in the first quarter. Guymon leads 8-0. Martinez checks back to the sideline in the gun. 1 to the near, 3 to the far. D. Herrera flanking his right side on the backfield. Martinez with snap, handoff again to D. Herrera. Not the doing though, as that's blown up behind line of scrimmage. Still churning, but the Boomers gain tackled with nearly the entire defense, and they drag him down. The Boomers get the stop.
Posse of Boomers.
A sea of whites.
Again, first contact, Trip Bates was in there. You know, there's a whole bunch of people. Trip Bates, Bowen Morton, Kason Bourne was in there towards the end of the play. You know, but again, that's what you want to see. You just want to see them all. They don't have to do anything special. They don't have to hit hard, just wrap up.
And back deep to receive the punt, Ryan Douglas Fisher. The Tigers snaps a little low. That one, blocked the punt a little bit. Goes short. Picked up by the Boomers on the return. Trying to make some magic was Caleb Hutton. The freshman got into the 40-yard line. And Boomers will start with plus field position at the Guymon 40. So a little bit of a block punt by Damian Ozeda. And the Boomers take things.
And guess who got his hand in there? Trip Bates.
Trip Bates.
You know, and so Trip is a kid who, very smart kid, dealt with injuries all through middle school and even early on last year. So it's good to see that he's able to get in there, get some confidence, and do what he's doing.
And do want to thank Pioneer, bringing you the defensive stands this season. One of our corporate sponsors. Unleash tomorrow's potential with Pioneer Fiber Internet. You get speed and reliability. Surf, stream, and stay connected with Pioneer Fiber. The defensive stand brought to you by Pioneer this year. First and 10 for the Boomers. Carter takes the high snap, right in the handoff, trying to get it. Looks like to Colin Bourne, and he's blown up in the backfield. Making that tackle was Juan Sereno. Colin Bourne, nothing really to do with there. Not his fault, just not much there.
Well, I think, again, Ely had a better position on it, but it looked like to me the high snap kind of caused that handoff to not be.
Yeah, that looked like a read option there. It's kind of a delayed handoff as it was, and then a missed assignment on the O-line doesn't help either there.
So second and 14, they'll say a loss of 4. 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Boomers trail 8-0. As Carter and the pistol trips the near one to the far man. The backfield with him is Bourne. High snap, but Carter collects it, being chased in the backfield, and he'll be drugged down by Abraham Mendoza. Comes across from the far side. The junior gets the sack, and Carter tried to escape, just didn't quite have the time.
Yeah, and unfortunately he had Colin Bourne that kind of slipped out of the backfield. And if he could have dumped it off to him, if he would have recognized it, but you know, that kind of again goes back to he's a young quarterback. He's still getting those reps, and he'll eventually see something like that, be able to dump it off.
So that's a loss of 7 on the sack. As the Boomers have it 3rd and 22 now, back to their own 48-yard line. They've got to get all the way to the Guymon 30 for the first down. Carter in the gun by himself, 2 to the near, 2 to the far. Tight end is Kason Bourne. Carter back to pass, has some time. Now he's going to scramble. Gets to the 50, first contact, shakes that. Still going down the sideline and gets to the 35. A good effort from Cash Carter on the scramble. And a little extracurricular by Guymon. Is that, no, it might be on Boomers.
Yeah, I think that's going to go back the other way.
That's going to be most likely on number 57.
So Trejo Yasarode trying to protect his guy. Obviously his quarterback felt maybe took a little extra shot there on the tackle. For now, it is a 17-yard run for Cash Carter. Bring up 4th and 5, but as you guys mentioned, probably going back the other way here. See what the official call is.
I do think there's a lot of barking on both sides.
There is.
You know, and they've got the Guymon guys are barking at our sideline. I'm sure our guys are barking back. You know, so it'll be interesting to see what they ultimately decide to do.
Let's see what they call here. Personal foul on the Boomers. And that's what the call they go with. So that will back up and essentially erase the game there from Cash.
Yeah, unfortunately we were in 4-down territory, you know, but now that gets pushed back to the 50. You know, you really got to look at punting now.
As that brings 4th and 20, as you mentioned, from 50 down to 52 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Guymon does lead 8-0 over the Boomers, and Ryan Douglas Fisher on to punt. As back to receive for the Tigers is Andy Ozeda. Lone return man. See, Douglas Fisher could get one that's not near as affected by the wind. That wind going back in his face, as you guys mentioned on the last punt. Rugby's style this one much better. As it's carrying nicely, bounces just outside, out of bounds. About the 13, maybe the 14. It's a great punt there from Ryan Douglas Fisher.
Yeah, if the defense steps up like they did last possession, you know, that's really going to help the Boomers have great field position going into their next offensive possession.
Now the 37 seconds remaining in the first quarter as the Tigers take over 1st and 10 at their own 13. do want to, of course, let you know that Western Drug, one of the great sponsors, power Boomer Sports throughout the season. Western Drug at 1021 Oklahoma and Woodward. They've got friendly and caring staff. The drive-through window is also convenient. Always excellent service as well. Call them at 580-256-5586. Western Drug, power Boomer Sports this season.
Adrian Garcia, still sitting over on the table, starting this possession. So Zaylen Flores will be back out there.
So Guymon takes over at their own 13. It's Malachi Martinez in the pistol. Back flanking him to the left. One behind him is D. Herrera. They hand it off to D. Herrera. A little bit of a hole. Gets to the 15 to the 20. Out to the 25. Still breaking tackles. Chugging forward to the 27 is D. Herrera. And the Boomers had a little crack at him, but D. Herrera just kept powering through.
And again, there was a missed tackle near the line of scrimmage that I think if he would have at least been able to trip him up, the Boomers would have been in a lot better shape.
We'll see how Guymon plays this. They do not have to snap it as the play clock's down, the game clock's down to 14, play clock at 20. It looks like the Tigers will indeed just step to the sideline, and that's the end of the first quarter as Guymon leads 8-0 over the Boomers. We'll step aside for a break as well. You're listening to Boomer Sports on Z92 and Boomer TV.
Tired of complicated Wi-Fi management? Go Pioneer Smart Wi-Fi makes it easy. With Go Pioneer Smart Wi-Fi, you can set your Wi-Fi password, view all your connected devices, and even run speed tests all from your phone. Need to set up parental controls? No problem.
Baseball. And there's one bank that really understands our area. Bank of Western Oklahoma. We've been locally owned from the beginning, and we still are. When you need a bank that understands your unique life, choose Bank of Western Oklahoma, the bank that works as hard as you do. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. There's nothing like being from Western Oklahoma. It's family and community. It's spring storms and winter wheat.
Anyone else? Fine. Jake from State Farm. Again.
Right. It's the personal price plan theorem. If you bundle your home and auto, that can equal an affordable price just for you. Bundling. Just another way to save with the personal price plan. Like a good neighbor.
Who can solve this equation?
Ooh! Me.
Anyone?
Tired of complicated Wi-Fi management? Go Pioneer Smart Wi-Fi makes it easy. With Go Pioneer Smart Wi-Fi, you can set your Wi-Fi password, view all your connected devices, and even run speed tests all from your phone. Need to set up parental controls? No problem. Simple, smart, secure. Stay connected and in control with Go Pioneer Smart Wi-Fi. Visit GoPioneer.com to learn more. Tired of complicated Wi-Fi management? Go Pioneer Smart.
What they do is they lead 8-0 with 11:29 to go in the half. We want to let you know that Salient State Bank, one of the great sponsors, powering Boomer Sports. Salient State Bank now with the branch in Woodward at the new location, 2314 Williams Avenue. Check that out. So State Bank Woodward branch offers full-service banking, including personal checking, savings, home, and commercial loans, as well as mobile and online banking, wire transfers, and more. Salient State Bank powered Boomer Sports this season. Guymon with good timeout guys. They're, maybe one of those they just didn't like the look or didn't like their own lineman, kind of burning one early.
Yeah, again, I think that the coaching staff's probably recognizing the fact that, they've got to do something different with the fact how quickly we are getting into the backfield. Ely, what are you seeing down there?
Well, it looks like, to me, Woodward kind of got lucky on that timeout because they was scrambling there. Coaches were screaming. I don't think they was ready for it either. So I think it was a good timeout for both sides there.
So Brayne second and 14 as both teams ready to get back rolling.
Might want to get off the field.
23. Martinez in the gun, trips to the far once in the air, man in the backfield. They go with the bubble screen out to Ozeta. He's got a little bit of a block, gets some yards at that. Gains back the yards that were lost on the run, but not much more. Makes it look like 3rd and 8 for the Tigers.
And I think we can tell why they don't throw the ball very often, because that was just kind of tossed over there.
And now no huddle for the Tigers. Another quick ball screen, this time to the near side. As they go with Damian Ozeta, the senior breaks the tackle, still behind at the 30, and nowhere to go. The Boomers stretched him out that time and able to bring him down for essentially no gain. Brings up the 4th down.
Stop for the Boomers. Brings up the Tigers, 4th and 8 to go.
And Luke Talley was able to get in there, and he's kind of the one who slowed him down to allow the whole host of Boomers to get in there and make the tackle.
Looks like they'll bring in Damian Ozeta to punt. This guy in the line up there, they're swapping their players off.
Hey guys, Dominic Gordon will not get credit for that tackle, but he is to be credited for that stop right there on that play.
So we saw a little bit of Dominic Gordon as well. Looks like Guymon missing a guy. Get him in on the lineman. Back to return this punt is Cooper Latal, and now a flag by on Guymon. The delay game or legal substitution team in.
I think they're going to get him for a delay of game.
Okay.
But again, it goes back to communication on the sideline. First game, they're trying to figure all this stuff out as well.
Now back again to punt is Ozeta this time. Ooh, almost blocked again. Short punt. It's in Boomer territory. And got a flag. That one was down by Guymon. A little bit of a scrap going on out there too, near the punt or near the potential punt recovery.
Yeah, it looked like Jake Graff got taken down by a Guymon player, and I think that's what they're gonna. Unfortunately, I couldn't tell. It looked like Jake may have actually touched the ball. Guymon dove on it, so that may be part of the discussion as well.
But if he dives on because of a penalty, how's that? Or if he's touched because of a penalty, how's that affect?
Right.
Because you're right, you got to kind of drag and roll. It looked a little bit more like a fight than it did a football play. They are having a healthy discussion about it. Ely, did you see anything there that kind of helped us out in that, or is it just kind of a mess?
Yeah, like Eric said, number 5, Jake Graff, definitely did touch the ball. But I think what's going to happen here is it's going to be a penalty on Guymon because, we got a holding there.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. That's confusing.
Unless they're saying Jake is the one who pulled him down.
Yeah.
And that may be what they're saying.
But the Boomer offense does get the ball. So
the most important thing is Boomer still got the ball here.
Yes, and they'll get it with 10:02 to go in the half. Trailing 8-0 as they take over at their own 49. Bit of an interesting place. The Boomers get the hold on the return. Backs them up. Would have had it at the 39, but now near midfield as Cash Carter comes out in the pistol.
And that's the thing, even with the holding call, we still have, good position. So we just need to take advantage of that.
2 receivers to the near, 2 to the far for Carter. Back behind him. Now man in motion is Douglas Fisher. Snap clean. Carter takes the handoff. Now he's got room on the keeper. Gets to the 40, down to the 39. Should have the first down. He does. They mark him at the 38. A good keep by the quarterback on the read option.
That'll be the first Boomer first down. And again, I think that's something that he has recognized several times is, because multiple times he's kept the ball, that they are, really kind of sticking. They're playing man on the receivers, and so that's causing them to go downfield, opening up the field for him to keep it.
So first and 10 for the Boomers at the Guymon 38. Carter in the pistol yet again. Back to pass. Has some time. They go with the screen to Colin Bourne. Has some space. Man on the quick is going to limit the gain. And who else? Damian Ozeta, the senior, read it and flew in. Only a gain of 1 for the Boomers. It looked good initially, Eric, but Ozeta changed that quick.
Yeah, that quickness. Collins coming off limping. We don't like to see that. It is one of those things where, hindsight's 20/20. If he would have been able to cut the ball to the middle of the field, he probably would have had an opportunity to pick up some more yards. But he unfortunately went outside and allowed Ozeta to catch up with him.
8:55 remaining in the first half. Tigers lead 8-0. Boomers with the ball and trying to drive. 2nd and 9 at the Guymon 37. Carter in the gun, walks in the near, trips to the far, man in motion. Tall, again a high snap. This time it's on the ground, trying to pick it up as Luke Parkhurst, and boy, he did, and saved the turnover and got almost back to line of scrimmage, only lost one.
Yeah, that was supposed to go to Latal, you know, but again, with a jet sweep, you know, things like that, you've got to do it quick. It's got to be perfect, you know, and a high snap just completely blew it up.
So I'll call it third down, although it looks more like a 3rd and 10. He's got to get to the Guymon 28. It's called again in the gun, trips to the near side, one to the far, back behind. Here's the Parkhurst. Carter gets the snap, back to pass, a quick out, looking for Colt Moore. That one a bit high. Moore was one-on-one on the far sideline, covered tightly by Damian Ozeda. Incompletion brings up the Boomer 4th down.
And you know, it looks like their offense is going to stay out there. They're kind of in that in-between range.
I mean, the modern analytics would tell you, hey, this is a go-for-it spot if you can't kick it, right? So.
It'd be like that one coach that, you know, did so well at Pulaski Academy over in Arkansas for so many years, never punted, never kicked field goals.
Yeah, just all.
Didn't really work out for him when he went to the college level. But
no, they tried it. Although Ryan Douglas Fisher is in at quarterback, so maybe kind of a pooch punt coming up here as you got one to the near, one to the far, and sure enough, that's what it is. Douglas Fisher just this one-step punt a la Ben Roethlisberger style. It goes down inside the 20 down to about the 10. So that's where Guymon will take over after the Boomer pooch punt. That says 53 to go in the half. Guymon still with the lead, 8-0. Guys, the defense is sold in for the Boomers. Now you just got to, we're starting to see the offense try to wake up a little bit. You got to string together some consistency.
yeah, it's just, you know, like you said, consistency, clean it up. You know, it looked like we got the high snap issue under control, and then all of a sudden it happened again. You know, little things like that, you know, can really, especially in an offense where you're trying to do a lot of different things. You know, you got a lot of moving pieces. You've got to have things working correctly, and the high snap really throws that off.
M&D Enterprises, the Lawnmower Shop for sponsors. Boomer Sports for your best lawn, porch, or patio. M&D Enterprises and the Lawnmower Shop for your people. They carry everything you need to make your greenscape now a piece of heaven you have always dreamed of. Locations in Woodward and in Weatherford. M&D is powering Boomer Sports. Now a quick run up the gut for Guymon to start the first play of their possession. A little short game, about a gain of 3, gets it to the 13 for the Tigers.
But really, those run up the middles, you know, again, because we're able to get such a great jump and such a great push by the offensive line, that's opening up that middle.
Tigers back in the gun. 2 to the near, 2 to the far. Man in the backfield with Martinez. A handoff to him is D. Herrera. Contact initially at the line of scrimmage, spins out of it, but then a nice clean hit by the Boomers to take him down. That one looked to be Caleb Hutton, the freshman.
Hutton, I think Reese Durkee, another freshman, was able to get in there and get his hands on him.
Durkee, one of those depth guys we talk about that we see some time throughout the season. And Guymon trying to quick snap it. Now, do they just take a knee? What was that? A little bit of miscommunication.
Yeah, it looked like, you know, Guymon, a lot of the Guymon players were looking over the sideline.
Yeah, nobody was ready, not even the Boomers. Now it's 4th down because Martinez had to take a knee. It was 3rd and 5, and he just had to take a knee, and it backed him up all the way to 4th and 10.
Looked like Guymon coach staff maybe was trying to call timeout, and that's what they were looking over the sideline, expecting to get the timeout.
Didn't get it. The Boomers will be able to force a punt. As back is Damian Ozeda to punt it. To return again is Cooper Latal, and now whistle. We got a timeout here by Guymon, by the Boomers. This one by the Boomers. So saw Guymon take a timeout early in the second quarter to kind of reset things. Boomers do it here on this crucial 4th down at 15, or 4th down at 10, excuse me, for the Tigers.
Yeah, I wonder if some of this timeout maybe also, you know, Coach Gordon's just saying, hey, be smart. You know, we've had an opportunity. We had guys potentially block punts. You know, each of their punts, we've had guys in the backfield. You know, hey, you're going to get to the end zone. You're going to want to hit it. But if you're not going to get the block, not touch the kicker. You know, because that is a quick way to give the ball right back to Guymon.
And Healy, what they call it from Moreland was the word to say, hey, get away from that punt. What was the go-to word?
Peter.
Peter. So Peter called maybe. Make sure that if you are in a spot where, hey, Don't want to touch it. Get that feeder call out. If not, Tall going to look to try to get a good return and see his set up at the Guymon 45. Tigers back at their own 10 to punt this one. Standing on the goal line there was Damian Ozeta for the Tigers. Takes the snap. Quick one off the side of his foot. Not a long punt. Should be returnable from Tall at the hop. He does get it. Fields it. Gets the 35 to the 30. Gets a block on the outside to the 20. 15 down to the 10, the 5, and he's got the touchdown. No flags, and the Boomers are on the board for the first time this season. Cooper Tall, the senior captain, ounces it on the punt return.
And Ryan Douglas Fisher, another one of the senior captains, was doing a great job of really giving that final lead block to allow him to get into the end zone.
So big time score for the Boomers. A little life with 6:33 to go in the half as they now trail 8-6. Line up looks like probably for the 2-point. Ely was down on the spot, handed the helmet to QB1 Cash Carter.
Yeah, he was excited, ready to go celebrate. Coach was like, "Hey, we're going for 2."
Going for 2. That's right.
Figured I'd help him out, bring him his helmet a couple steps closer for him.
Looks like about 35-yard punt return for Tall. Over that. Yep, he was going for 2, trying to tie this one up with 6:33 to go in the half. Carter in the pistol. One receiver to the near, 2 to the far bunch tight, and Parkhurst in the backfield. Carter takes the snap, will roll to the far side. Look at the pass, going to the back of the end zone. He's got a man for Ryan Douglas. Fisher caught, and the Boomers have tied it up. So the 2-point conversion good on the completion from Cash Carter to Ryan Douglas Fisher.
And on that 2-point.
That's a little bit of something we was wanting to see there. That was a very nice throw on the run right there. I mean, running right and was able to throw it back left right on the money.
And again, that's what we want to see from these Boomers, is to slow down, let things happen. I think that that was one of the first plays where Cash was able to slow down, allow his receiver to get an open spot where he can make a good throw.
Well, guys, you had clean snap, clean blocking, and yeah, successful play. It works. It works, like I said, if it just kind of slows down a bit.
And confidence.
And confidence.
I mean, honestly, you get a return like that, you're gonna get some confidence back.
So on the Just Well Chevrolet scoreboard update, again, the Boomers tied up 8-all, 6:33 to go in the half. To remind you, Just Well Chevrolet in Shattuck is where honesty is not just a word, it's how they drive every deal. Visit JustWellChevrolet.com or call them 580-938-2122. Just Well Chevrolet, our scoreboard sponsor for the season. Also, Bearded Barber powering Boomer Sports this season. If you need a fresh cut, head to the Bearded Barber in Woodward. From classic trims to modern styles, they've got you covered. Experience top-notch grooming in a laid-back atmosphere. Walk in and leave looking sharp. It's upstairs in the K101 Center next to our K101 studios. I will say those guys definitely do have very nice laid-back atmosphere. Very chill.
Shoot, that's what you want when you're going in there and you have to sit there and all that kind of stuff. You want to be comfortable. You want to enjoy it a little bit and not be stressed out about somebody maybe messing your hair up. But everything I have seen from them has been awesome.
There you go. The Boomers will now kick off after getting the punt return and the 2-point conversion. Defense, that's the only bad thing about special teams sport, guys, is that your defense is right back up. So it'll be Ryan Douglas Fisher doing the honors on the kickoff for the Boomers. Back deep to return for the Tigers are the Ozetas, Damian and Andy. Let's see, David, one sophomore, Andy.
Same exact size.
Yeah, they both.
From up here, you cannot tell the difference besides their number.
The sophomore, Andy, is about 10 pounds heavier. He's 160 listed to Damian's 150. They're both 5'7". So there you go. Fisher gets the whistle. He's ready for the kick. Jogs to it. Puts the foot into it. Nice kick. Well over the head into the end zone for the touchdown.
Those soccer players do a great job for the Boomer football team. Good job, Coach Godwin.
Shout out to Coach Godwin.
We know he's listening. So
yes, working the production, help work the production for Boomer TV. Doing a fantastic job as always. So Guymon takes over 1st and 10 at their own 20. So the Boomers so far in 2 of the 3 phases have been very successful. Defense has held Guymon 8 points. Special teams got a touchdown. And now you're looking on the defense, maybe get another stop, try to get that offense going.
Yeah, I think, It's kind of what Ely talked about, pregame, is getting that excitement. We got the excitement going on defense a couple possessions ago, and now we're starting to roll.
And Martinez on the quick out pass, that's not Martinez. They have now swapped it to Miguel Vargas. He's kind of their passing quarterback, and comes up with an incompletion there, trying to get Andy Ozale. So Vargas was kind of their Wilson quarterback at the start of the season. You see a little bit bigger guy, and on 2nd and 10, will hand off for a run up the middle, some space there to the 25. Looks to be, that one might be, that'd be Isaiah Dunnigan.
Zaylen Flores got the trip up. Looks like it was finished off.
And again, a quick handoff to Dunnigan. Guymon trying to go no hole. The Boomers this time stopping it up in the backfield. That's going to be a loss of 1.
Reese Durkee and Case and Bourne in there to blow it up.
So another quick, oh no, they're going to try to go for it as Guymon. Deep in their own territory at their own 25. Maybe trying to get the Boomers to jump. Watch the counter for the Boomers. Plenty of play clock to work for the Tigers. 5:40 to go in the half. Tied at 8. And Vargas now signaling to his guys they may not try snap this. They just try to get the Boomers to jump. No, they do. Vargas back to the pass over the left side. He's got a man caught by Damon Orzeta, and he's past the marker for the first on the comeback route that will stop. They get the first down.
Great little curl right there, and the chemistry. As soon as he made that turn, the ball was already coming at him.
So a 7-yard pass to Ozeta. Another quick snap for the Tigers. This time to Dunnigan. Finds a little bit of space and gets slammed down by Trip Bates, but it's still a 4-yard run for Dunnigan. Guymon trying to drive with 5 minutes left in the half. Trying to break the tie, 8-all. They got 2nd and 6 on their own 36. Vargas still on quarterback. He'll take the snap. Hand off again, this time to D. Herrera. Not much room, though, as he's blown up in the backfield and another loss on the handoff.
Trip Bates and Case and Bourne. Names we have said a lot tonight.
Yes, as well as give credit to the big man of Corbin Zamarka. Busting through that offensive line initially as well from his defensive tackle. He's got sub out a little bit, though. It was a little shaken up. Loss of 3 on the run.
But this is what Coach Gordon said. We're going to get a lot of guys in and out.
And on 3rd and 8, Tigers back pass again. Vargas looking again to that stop route. This time broken up by the Boomers. Trying to see who was on the coverage there. They were looking for that same play. It was Damon Ozeta intended. That'd be Mason
Arnold.
Yeah, getting the break up the junior.
You can tell if it was 9 or 8 down there. And I was like, 8 doesn't, I don't think looks like that.
It would have been Brody Brown. That's not the case. So Arnold comes up with a breakup, and that forces a 4th and 8 for the Tigers. This time, it appears they'll try to punt. Looks like Dominique Gordon onto the field just a little late for special teams as the blocker. David Ozeo gets the punt up. This one a better one than was last. Douglas Fisher to field it. Fair catches it at the Boomer 34-yard line. So Woodward will take over at their own 34 with 4:19 remaining in the half. And for the Boomers, it was a Pioneer defensive stand. Pioneer corporate sponsor this year. You unleash tomorrow's potential with Pioneer Fiber Internet. Get speed and reliability. Search, stream, and stay connected with Pioneer Fiber, sponsoring Boomers defensive stands.
Ely, is the mood changed down there on the Boomer sideline?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think the biggest play so far, barring all the defensive stops, is that 2-point conversion. You know, something to be excited about on the offensive side of the ball, which can definitely deter what happens here.
So, Cash Carter and the pistol. 2 receivers to the near, 1 to the far, tight end as well to the near. Case of point. Douglas Fisher goes in motion across the formation. High snap. Carter keeps it. This time has a hole on the left side. Gets to the 40 and tackled at about the 42. And kind of a late decision on the keep, but it works out there.
Well, I think that was another one where, you know, I think if it would have been a clean snap, because it was just a tad high, he still had to go up for it. I think he would have made the handoff to Douglas Fisher because, you know, we know that Ryan is fast.
Oh, yes.
And if he can get around the corner, you know, he's picking up more yards, but great job by Cash to recognize that and pull it down and pick up what he could.
So 2nd and 3, they called for the Boomers. Carter in the pistol again, ships to the far, 1 to the near. Clean snap, will roll out to that far side, looking for a man, still looking. And goes to just past the stick, has a man on the far sideline. Cooper looked tall, I believe. Did he catch it? They say he did. So a tall, just steady hands for the senior, just past the stick. Short game, but it works. That's a first down. Gain of 4.
Guys, I said it once again. That was an amazing throw by Cash Carter. Right in the numbers, right on the sideline, first down.
And a tough area to do it in.
Yeah.
Tall, the senior, the focus, big first. The Boomers have it first and 10, 45, 3:37 remains. They are still tied at 8 with the Tigers, trying to drive. Carter in the pistol, 2 to the near, 2 to the far, and in the backfield is Park Burks. Behind him, in motion goes Latal. This time on the read option, bit of a blown play, but Carter keeps it again, finds some yards. A flag comes in late. This might be coming back. As Carter was able to find about 3 or 4 yards, they might have had a late hold.
You know, but again, Ely, I don't know if you're recognizing this, you know, but it looked like he wanted to go to Latal in that handoff. But unfortunately, because it got blown up, and, you know, he had to pull it back in.
Yeah, I know we got a holding call, so it's coming back, but that was an amazing read to keep that there, because if he would have handed that ball off, I mean, they're getting nothing out of that.
So here's the hold, and moves the Boomers back to the 35.
I just want to say I prophesied him being QB1. I told him his 8th grade year down on the sideline that, hey, you're going to be QB1.
So first and 20 now for the Boomers. At their own 35, Carter again in the pistol. Parkhurst behind him, 2 receivers to the far, 1 to the area, 2 to the near, excuse me. 3:10 to go in the half. Boomers tied at 8. Carter with the snap, rolling to the near side, looking to pass, has a man, Douglas Fisher downfield, caught by Douglas Fisher, shakes off a man at the 35 into Guymon territory, still moving past the 30, down inside the 30 to the 27. Ryan Douglas Fisher, there's the speed, there's the move, and the Boomers a big first.
And that's what they really wanted last year whenever they made that move at quarterback. Is, you know, Ryan Douglas Fisher started the year as quarterback, made the move. They knew that if they could put him in the slot and get him open, he's going to pick up chunks of yards.
So 37-yard pass play there. The Boomers go quick. First is in, Carter in the gun. Bit of a broken play. He's just going to take it himself, trying to get some yards. Miscommunication there on the no huddle. Does fight forward for a few. Gets to the, looks like 25. So gain of 3.
Cash is a strong kid. Has taken a lot of shots today.
He has, but you know he's been in the weight room. We talked about it off air. This kid, his arms have gotten huge compared to what they were last year. Still, obviously, could add a lot more to that frame, but it's definitely on the right track for the young sophomore.
And you know, he's one of our better hitters on the baseball team as well. You know, he looks like a baseball dude. You know, when he's in uniform.
Hey, those guys can make really good football players too. Tough dudes. Under 2 minutes to go now for the Boomers. Minute 55 as they're tied 8 with the Tigers. Trying to drive at the Boomer, or at the Guymon 25 now. Flag, I think a delay game.
Delay a game.
Yeah. Couldn't quite get the play in time. Carter was trying to recover a little bit. A little miscommunication there with Coach Harvey and Carter. So that will back them up. It goes from 2nd and 7 to 2nd and 12 at the 30.
To go.
Oh, they go 30. Okay. So Boomers second and 11, that's what they say. Got to get down to the 19. Minute 50 to go in the half. Clock rolls. Carter and the pistol. 1 to the near, 2 to the far, man backfield behind him. As he's back to pass yet again, this time looking for the one-on-one deep shot to Cole Moore. Double cover it and just a bit overthrown. Moore made a good effort to try to leap for that. And for Carter, it's incompletion, but at least Eric put it in a spot where either Cole Moore gets that or nobody else does.
Yeah, you know, and that, again, we haven't seen many opportunities for Cash to, you know, go downfield. It's good to see that, you know, his arm strength is, you know, last year we saw it a few times, but his arm strength has definitely come up a couple ticks.
Well, and Ely's kind of mentioned and alluded to this. The touch is starting to come along, too. He's made some nice throws off platform, things of that nature. So 3rd and 11 for the Boomers. At the 30, they say. Carter in the gun again. Back to pass. Rolling to the far side, the right side. Still looking. Being chased down. Fires to the far sideline. Is that caught or incomplete?
I think it was incomplete.
Incomplete, they say. Triple and tall, the intended target. Tight coverage there. Looked like by who else? Davey Jose. So that brings up the 4th and 11 for the Boomers from the Guymon 30.
That's been one thing I've noticed is I think there's a few times, Ely, I don't know if you've recognized this, that he may have been able to make the throw just a little bit earlier than he has. That's one of those, I think if he would have thrown it just a little bit earlier, that would have been a catchable ball.
Yeah, and that was a good placement on the ball, but like you just said, kind of waited a little too long. The defender was able to close some ground and make contact. Here we go. He's a crowd.
So 4th down for the Boomers. They will go for it. Cash Carter in the gun, empty. 2 to the near, 3 to the far. He's got to get down to the 19, and now time. No, another flag. Got to get that play off, fellas. That is going to be a delay game. So Cash Carter, he's telling his guys, hey, you got to get to the line.
Yeah, and I think that might end up becoming a pooch punt.
Just Mike, now you're down to the 35. You got 16 to go. Bit of a tough road there, so we'll see how that plays. Looks like they're still sticking with Coleman. Carter in the gun, empty. 2 to the rear, 3 to the far. Play clock at 10. Charger trying to get the signal run down to 8. Down to 5. Carter takes the snap. Does have time. Back to pass. Trying to scramble. Had a man open. He missed him. It was Douglas Fisher in terms of open. Now he throws it late. That one incomplete. Eric, you were trying to point it out, but Douglas Fisher broke open down the middle. Carter, though, was trying to roll out. Not quite a spot where he saw him.
Yeah, I think Guymon did a good job of getting somebody in there, kind of starting to chase Cash down. But if he could have recognized Douglas Fisher out there, he would have been in end zone.
So Guymon takes over at their own 35-yard line. Minute 22 remaining in the first half. Still tied at 8. Hey, do want to shout out Smith & Co. Auction Realty, powering Boomer Sports this year. Oklahoma's real estate and land auction experts. Smith & Co. is your #1 choice for all your land auctions and real estate needs. Call them at 580-254-3975 or email Ira at smithcorealestate.com. Smith & Co. Real Estate powering the Boomers this season. Guymon takes over at their own 35. It looks like they will stick with Miguel Vargas, the junior quarterback. It started with Malachi Martinez, the senior. Vargas, flanked by Dunnigan, has trips receivers to the near, 1 to the far side. Takes the snap, looking, pressure's coming. Floats pass out way over the head of Damian Ozeta, and that falls incomplete. Boomers get some early pressure in his face.
They had Levi Harris coming off the end over there. He's listed as a linebacker, and yeah, he's built like a linebacker. That kid is athletic as all get out. He was able to kind of force the back throw.
So 2nd and 10. Vargas back pass again. Pump face going deep, looking for Ozeta. Coverage is there, and it's ripped away at the last moment by Mason Arnold. Great coverage, because it looked like Damian Ozeta was going to have a clean shot at that. But boy, Mason Arnold, great job to break that one up late.
Yeah, awesome job by Mason Arnold. He's coming up a little limp. Levi Harris and Casey Boren got into the backfield and actually gave Vargas quite a shot.
So that brings 3rd and 10 for Guymon, still on their own 35. Minute 10 left in the first half, tied at 8. Vargas back in the gun, 2 to the near, 2 to the far. Handoff inside to Dunnigan, trying to bounce it out. That one strung out. A couple of Boomers there and plow him down. No gain on the run. Oh, there was a late shove, and that's a flag. Yep, Guymon, that might be on Guymon, because it looked like Casey Bourne got shoved late there.
Yeah, it's going to be on the ball carrier there. He kind of gave him a little kick after he got tackled.
There you go. So not only a stop on the 3rd down, but now it's going to be way back for the Tigers.
Great job by Bowen Morton and Casey Bourne to get to the backfield for that tackle.
Run back that up. I believe they gave forward progress back to the line of scrimmage, so it should go back to the 25. See if that's the case. Shoot, that'd be back to the 2015 if they gave that forward progress. And they did, so it's back at the 20. So 4th and 25 for the Tigers. It'll bring up a punt situation. Back to kick again as Damian Ozeta. Clock stopped at a minute left and a half. Cooper Latarl looking to maybe house another one as he's back to return here to 50. Ozeta takes the low snap. Almost got blocked. That one a very high kick. Fair catch called for by Latarl. Fielded nicely at the Guymon 41. So the Boomers will have just under a minute, 54 seconds, to try to drive and put this one in the end zone. Remember, the Boomers did receive, so Eric, you'd really like to be able to get some points here. Guymon to get them all back.
Yeah, this is one of those chances. or one of those things where you've got to, don't try to do too much. Just get the ball out to the sideline, get out of bounds quick, just kind of chip away at it. You know, try to set yourself up with an opportunity to get in the end zone.
So taking over at the guy 41 is the Boomers. Cash Carter out of the gun. Empty set, it works. As he's got 2 receivers near, 3 to the far side. The receiver at the top of the formation on the far side is Cooper Tall. Carter claps, takes the snap, back to pass, some pressure by Mendoza off the edge. Carter having to scramble to the far side, still looking, has just floated away out of bounds, and that's incomplete. And boy, Mendoza, Abraham Mendoza, is a force off that end.
Yeah, and that's one thing the Boomers are going to have to figure out is a way to kind of slow him down a little bit because, you know, again, like on the previous possession when we had Ryan Douglas open the middle of the field, it was, you know, it was that guy coming off the end that caused him to have to scramble.
So 46 ticks left now in the half. So we still remain tied at 8 with the Tigers. They got 2nd and 10 at the Guymon 41. Again, the Boomers go empty set. 2 to the near, 3 to the far. Nearest receiver is Moore. Carter takes the snap, looking to that near side, now scrambles to the right side. Has plenty of space, he'll take off. Directing traffic, tries to plow a man over and gets down. It looks like right near the stick. I don't know if they'll give it to him. It might be 3rd and short. It's right on the stick. I think it might be 3rd, about a yard or less.
Yeah.
The Boomers call a timeout with 33 seconds.
I thought maybe he was able to get it, but, you know, again, it's also one of those things where he should have really probably tried to get out of bounds as quick as possible instead of trying to pick up the extra couple of yards.
Yeah, and it's, you know, it's a sophomore, right? Thinking, hey, I'm trying to get all the yards I can. Ely, you've been there before. You know it as a player. You want to make that big play.
Yeah, you want to make that big play. You want to hear the stadium, the whole crowd erupt because of something you did. It's just something you need to realize, though. The clock's running. Might want to try to get out of bounds instead of that.
I want to thank Great Plains Bank for powering Boomer Sports this year. Heritage, trust, respect, those are the things that make Great Plains Bank great. With deep roots across Oklahoma and Texas, they are in touch with the communities that their customers work and live in. Big shout out to Great Plains Bank powering Boomer Sports this season. So, got 33 ticks left. A couple, looks like, might be out of timeouts, actually. That's what they're showing, at least on the scoreboard.
I think that was the last Boomer timeout.
Now you know you're going to have to operate potentially in the no huddle. You are in good field position at the Guymon 32. 3rd and 1 for the Boomers. See how they prioritize this. Do you go for the first down on this play? Do you try to take the shot? Carter in the pistol. 2 to the near, 2 to the far man. The backfield behind him, Parkhurst. Snap taken. He rolls to the near side. Parkhurst with a little bit of a block. Trying to find somebody. Pressured on the backfield. And did he get rid of that? No, they say he's down the sack. Guymon taking him down. It was Jan Sereno again, the sophomore.
And they're running the clock because he was sacked.
So you got to go quick. Down to 15. As you got a 4th and very long now for the Boomers. And they might just let this run down and take one final heave before the half. Down to 8 seconds. 7. Carter. Empty set. And sure enough, everybody just on the go route. Carter under pressure, and he just has to throw it away in a bit of a tough hit there. And that's how we end the first half. It's tied at 8. The Tigers have brought a fight to Boomer State. We got a late flag. Hold on a minute. Hold on just a minute. We got a late flag that came in. Calling against Boomers. Intentional grounding. Okay, yep. So that will indeed end the first half. As Woodward Guymon tied at 8 after 2 quarters. We'll step aside for a break. You're listening to Boomer Sports on Z92 and Boomer TV.
Life never stops moving. Between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up, like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety you expect, you can lose track of the miles and focus on what really matters, the memories made along the way. Stop in today at 2220 Main in Woodward to see your local Michelin dealer, Pipe Lanes Tire.
There's nothing like being from Western Oklahoma. It's family and community. It's spring storms and winter wheat. It's fall football and summer baseball. And there's one bank that really understands our area. Bank of Western Oklahoma. We've been locally owned from the beginning, and we still are. When you need a bank that understands your unique life, choose Bank of Western Oklahoma, the bank that works as hard as you do. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
This back-to-school season, give your home the connection it deserves with Go Pioneer Fiber Internet. Experience the power of Wi-Fi 6 technology for smoother streaming, gaming, and learning. And with the Go Pioneer Smart Wi-Fi app, managing your home network is a breeze. Choose from multiple plans with symmetrical speeds for lightning-fast uploads and downloads. Get your family school ready with Go Pioneer Fiber Internet. Sign up today at gopioneer.com.
At the half, 2024 season as the Boomers tied up with the Tigers. As we'll look at some of these first half stats. Of course, first half stats are presented by High Plains Tire. Visit High Plains Tire at 2022 Main Street. Where your dollar goes further. But before we get to that, Boomer Band getting ready to perform. So we'll go over a quick scoring summary real quick as they get into place. And 6:07 to go in the first, or excuse me, take that back. Early in the first quarter, Guymon got that safety. The Boomers went 3 and out. Snap went over the head. That resulted in safety. Guymon up 2 over there. Go to 6:07 in the first quarter. They go on a 10-play drive. As they take an 8-0 lead, they get the extra point, if you will. The Boomers would answer late on a punt return in the half. 6:33 to go in the half. And that made it 8-8 as the Boomers got the 2-point conversion. So now we'll turn it over almost to the band here. As if you're watching on Boomer TV, catch the band's first performance of the season here at the half. Directed by Daisy Crocker. They've been working hard on this all summer long. A very spectacular show, so we'll listen in here. We got Ely, we'll make sure we've got some quality spot to get that in.
Has a story filled with chapters of love, laughter, and dreams for the future. But what if one day you're not there to help write the next chapter? Life is unpredictable, but your love for your family shouldn't be. With State Farm Life Insurance, Guymon, Matthews, and Woodward can help ensure your story continues, even when you're not there to turn the page. Protect the chapters yet to come. Talk to Guymon Matthews, because your story deserves to be told.
Underway now. Eric, we do have some kind of pivotal games going on. I say in 4A1 tonight. Not necessarily district contest, but some of those teams and some big clashes and what we call our Class Bowl scores. One of those coming to Douglas Winoka, a big one. That's at Winoka tonight. How's that game going on?
Let me switch back over here.
That's my
okay, threw me for a look. No. At halftime, Covington Douglas is up on Winoka 40-6. And then another game that is going on in Class C that, kind of in our area, Timberlake is taking on Cherokee. They're putting it on Cherokee 44-6 right now. And then
you mentioned that Timberlake Cherokee game. Some of the 4A1s I was getting ready to talk about there. Canadian Texas taking on Elk City. That has been a really good game the last few years when those two have come together in a cross-state matchup, if you will. How's that one going?
Yeah, the last score we had in the second quarter, Canadian is up 26-14 at Elk City.
Wow. And then Elgin, big powerhouse now in 4A1. We're undefeated in 5A until playoffs last year. They are at Lawton MacArthur. That's pretty good tilt. We got an update on that one.
Yeah, they're up on MacArthur 14-0.5.
So Elgin, as expected, pretty good little squad taking on Lawton back. Now, Boomers still in 4A1 had a bit of an issue over the summer. Originally thought they were going to be 3A1. Public schools, some of the private schools kind of didn't like how the USSA went about that, I guess you could say. There's legal action, and it got flipped back. So,
yeah.
That got overruled, if you will. So the Boomers wound up back in 4A1. Kind of a late season scramble for everybody, I would say, over the summer. And for the Boomers, a lot of familiar faces in the district, Elk City, Clinton, Weatherford, if you will. But some new ones. We mentioned Elgin coming from 5A down to 4A1. Douglas comes up from 3A in football to play in this district. Got Bridge Creek, another new school in the district, and another familiar face that we saw last year in Cache. So kind of a bit of a hodgepodge, I guess you could say.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where, in the grand scheme of things, probably that 3A1 district would have fit the Boomers a little bit better just as far as, size, athleticism, things like that. It's, as a growing program, but you got to take what you're given, and the Boomers are going to go in there and they're going to fight and, probably be pretty competitive, and try to push for a third or fourth playoff spot.
Absolutely. And, we'll see how it turns out this year with that district. We know the commodities, if you will, the Clinton, the Elk Cities, the Weatherfords. As I promised, Elgin's going to be a pretty good team. Oklahoma had two of their linemen listed in the top 10 of the state, so they've got some big boys. They got some size. And the rest of the district, though, I think is one that would be an interesting matchup for Boomers as they go along, if you will. And do want to, of course, thank Compass Athletics for powering Boomer sports this season. Compass Athletics, from sports equipment to championship trophies and everything in between. 2024 Main Street in Woodward. You can call them at 580-256-7045. We'd also like to thank R5 Custom Embroidery. When you work with R5 Custom Embroidery, you can count on a quick, fun, and enjoyable process with results that consistently exceed your expectations. Come chat with their screen printers and about customized apparel. Visit them at 817 Main Street, Woodward, or give them a call at 580-256-3571. Big shout out to Compass Athletics and R5 Custom Embroidery. Now, a little bit of a preview ahead, I guess you could say, for the Boomers to close out the non-district. You got 3 non-district games this season. You get this one at home to start the season, but then you're on the road for a couple interesting games, I'd say. Dodge City playing it there in the top class in Kansas. You'll go open their season essentially next week because Kansas is in their Jamboree week, their scrimmage week, as they use that as a tune-up and then get that full blow. So you know you're going to get a hostile Dodge City crowd next Friday night. And then you go to it's Goldbugs, kind of Eric, I don't know if you call it a rivalry renewed, but obviously those two teams are rivals in pretty much every other sport. They've obviously had a long history in football as well. That should be a fun one there at Ranger Field.
Yeah, I think, we've talked about, kind of leading up, going to Dodge City, and, Dodge City is not, at their level, the best that they've been, but, they're also playing at the top of the class in Kansas, so that's going to be a tough battle for the Boomers. And then Alva, Alva was number 2 in 2A2. Is that what they came in as preseason 2? class, but I was also going through some changes over the summer. So, it'll be fun to go up there. It's a close drive out here in Woodward. You don't get very many close drives, and only having to go an hour to play a high school football game kind of feels good. And, you get to play, one of the better D2 facilities in the country as well at Northwestern. So I'm pretty excited about, making that trip.
Ely, you're just going to camp out at Ranger Field that week. What's the plan there for you when the Boomers roll into Al?
I think he's having trouble hearing us.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. All right. Well, then. Anyways.
Yeah, he just has to walk across the street. I don't know where he lives on campus, or if he lives on campus or somewhere else. But he's a Ranger, and it's good to have another Ranger part of the broadcast.
Oh, absolutely, for sure. He's a senior year, but something else kind of new about Z92 this year is we've flopped. The Sooners used to be on K101. Now they're over in the home of Z92. So all your Sooner sports played right here on Z92. That means tomorrow night, while Friday Night Quick Scores is going on K101, you can listen to Toby Rowland and the crew as the Sooners will host Temple to open their season. That will be pregame at 3 o'clock, kickoff at 6. 3-hour pregame for the Sooners there on the broadcast. And mentioned Friday Night Quick Scores. Usually we don't quite start week 0. Sometimes we do. We're elected to start it tomorrow night. CJ Montgomery and crew lead night on K101. Of course, we'll talk about the game tonight. A lot of the matchups we mentioned there a minute ago. Big-time ones in the area. And there's about 25 games, give or take, as far as our Class of Bowl schools in total for the week. Oklahoma and Texas, of course, make up that as Kansas, as I mentioned, start next week. Should be a fun time. I know we'll have a good doctor, Dr. Carl Newton, checking in with us. He'll be there at the studio. May get some words from the Regent Jeff Hickman. Alvin, speaking of the Gold Bugs, boy, they got a big test
Wi-Fi
there.
management.
To Ranger Field.
Go Pioneer Smart Wi-Fi makes it easy.
Fairview on that.
With Go Pioneer Smart Wi-Fi, you can set your Wi-Fi password,
really, they're
view all your connected devices,
most of their boys sports right now just because of their athleticism. And football, they're country strong. You hear that a lot.
Problem.
They're not the biggest guys
Simple,
in the world.
Smart, secure. Stay connected
they
and
will
in
take
control
shots. They
with
will
Go
get
Pioneer
shots.
Smart Wi-Fi.
And it's
Visit GoPioneer.com to learn more. Tired of complicated.
So, another one that I think a lot of people are looking forward to tomorrow night. Another rivalry. Shattuck, Laverne, and Laverne. Both of those teams kind of odd. You mentioned we haven't really fully gone into it, but the district splits, or the class splits, excuse me, 2A, A, and B. Laverne, Shattuck now in different classes. B1 and B2.
Nothing like being from Western Oklahoma. It's family and community. It's spring storms and winter wheat. It's fall football and summer baseball. And there's one bank that really understands our area. Bank of Western Oklahoma. We've been locally owned from the beginning, and we still are. When you need a bank that understands your unique life, choose Bank of Western Oklahoma, the bank that works as hard as you do. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. There's nothing like being from Western Oklahoma. It's family and community. It's spring storm.
Class B football player in the state.
Absolutely. And, it'll be interesting. He's been doing camps and been training hard all summer long, but he's running 4.5 speeder. He's a guy that's turned a legitimate 4.5 times. That is, for any class, impressive. But when you're talking 8, man, that is tough to stop. So I have those and a lot of other games to talk about, of course, once we get to tomorrow with Friday Night Quick Score. Still got a game on hand here, though, of course, as both teams should be a couple minutes.
Tires are put to the test every day, everywhere around the world. Michelin invents the tire that stays safe even worn with unique Evergrip technologies. New Michelin Premier. Safe when new, safe when worn.
Come out, enjoy, socialize a little bit, watch the Boomers continue to grow, and, just kind of get in the football mode.
Definitely so, and that's, we talk about building culture, right? We've talked about with Coach Gordon at Lane K. He's organized everything from not only high school, but all the way down to the youth sports members in 5th and 6th grade. We're talking nearly 50 kids there between the two classes. 3rd graders, they've got
Who can solve this equation?
Ooh, me.
Anyone else?
Yeah, you know,
Fine.
and they're going in
Jake
there playing
from State Farm.
again.
Again.
You know, they're playing. I think Fairview has
It's the
team.
personal price
You know, a lot of
plan
these small
theorem.
schools have teams
If
that,
you bundle your home
you know,
and auto, that can equal an affordable price just for you. Bundling, just another way to save with the personal price plan.
those kids all start playing together from a very young age, from, you know, 3rd and 4th grade. My son is going to be a 3rd grader in Cherokee next year. He is excited about tackle football.
Oh, I bet.
You know, and I'm excited for him because he's going to get to play with kids he's going to play with probably all through high school. You know, and so being able to build that,
Wi-Fi
connect
management,
the high school guys
Go
with the
Pioneer
young
Smart
guys,
Wi-Fi
you know,
makes
get
it
the young
easy.
kids excited
With
about
Go
it.
Pioneer
That's
Smart
how
Wi-Fi,
you are gonna
you
grow
can
the
set your
program.
Wi-Fi password, view all your connected devices, and even run speed tests all from your phone.
Starting to get their warm-ups in.
Need
So
to
Eric has
set up
looked to the
parental
second half.
controls?
Again, tied
No
at 8.
problem.
Had a bit of a rocky start
Simple,
offensively.
smart,
Seemed like he
secure.
started to find something
Stay
there
connected
towards
and
the
in
half.
control.
Obviously,
Go
last
Pioneer
possession,
Smart Wi-Fi.
you're having to try to
Visit
find ends on a short
GoPioneer.com
amount of
to learn
time,
more.
take your shots, but they haven't produced offensive points yet, but they've been close to producing some good drives. The defense has been on point, only allowed 8 to the Tigers. Had some good moments, really shut them out after that first initial
Secure
drive.
with Arlo Wireless Outdoor Camera, available at Pioneer. Arlo offers top-notch protection with crystal clear video quality, rain or shine. Monitor your home from anywhere with remote smartphone access.
I talked about
Whether you're at home
you know, is not
or on the go,
pursuing, not missing tackles,
Arlo
things
keeps
like
you
that.
connected to
Too
what
hyped
matters
up,
most.
You know, and
Trust
that
Arlo and
happened a
Pioneer to
little
keep
bit
your
through the
home
first
safe
really two
and secure.
possessions for
Visit
Guymon.
GoPioneer.com
Defense
to
got
get
better.
your Arlo wireless cameras today.
And offense,
Feel
you
safe.
know, that we've had opportunities. Unfortunately, you know, we're allowing guys to get into the backfield, which is causing Cash Carter to, you know, throw off the run and to have to pull it down. He's not seeing guys downfield as well because he's
This
having to run
back-to-school
so much.
season,
You
give
know,
your
if
home
he-
the
if
connection
we're
it
able to
deserves.
give
Go
him a
Pioneer
little bit more
Fiber Internet.
protection, he's able to
Experience
get,
the power
you know,
of Wi-Fi
Ryan
6
Fisher,
technology for
you know,
smoother
those
streaming,
guys going
gaming,
downfield.
and
You know,
learning.
that will
And with the
definitely
Go
open
Pioneer
things up
Smart
for the
Wi-Fi
Boomers.
app, managing your home network is a breeze.
You know,
Choose from multiple plans with symmetrical speeds for lightning-fast uploads and downloads.
find wide a lot of
Get
times.
your family school ready with Go Pioneer Fiber Internet. Sign up today at GoPioneer.com.
Times, not much.
This back-to-school
Seen
season,
a lot of them running actually come from Cash Carter, and part of that is trying to get those jet sweeps, which are technically passes, but you might as well be handoffs, right? So is that kind of the key? Make sure the timing's better on some of those.
And I think that's, you know, there are multiple times. Like there's one instance I think of, you know, Douglas Fisher had an opportunity to, on one of those jet sweeps to, you know, get around the corner. If, you know, we know with his speed, if he could have got around the corner, you know, he could easily pick up 20, 25 yards a pop. You know, just, you know, because of what there was, but because there was a high snap, they weren't able to get that handoff. You know, and so again, if we can clean up some of those things, allow Cash to have a little bit more protection, I think the Boomers will be in pretty good shape tonight.
Absolutely. As do want to, of course, thank Western Drug for powering Boomer Sports this season. As Western Drug, 1021 Oklahoma in Woodward. They've got friendly and caring staff, and a drive-through window is also convenient. You can always see excellent service at Western Drug. Call them at 580-256-5586. Western Drug. Visit them in Woodward, powering Boomer Sports. And, of course, want to thank our scoreboard sponsor for the season, Just Wells Chevrolet. Just Wells Chevrolet in Shattuck. It's where honesty is not just a word, it's how they drive every deal. Visit justwellschevrolet.com or call them at 580-938-2122. As both teams getting ready, looks like about ready to get back to the sidelines. I think Boomers were a little rushed, and they thought they were down to 3 minutes ready to go. Guymon's still stretching, and they're saying, hey, we still got a few minutes.
Yeah, a lot of times you'll see that where, you know, time will start ticking down, and the rest will come out and say, hey, let's add 3 more minutes. Let's allow these kids to kind of get stretched back out and get going. So I think that's what happened there.
Definitely so. So that's looks like what's happened. The Boomers kind of going back to their own stretch circle. That's smart. You got to be able to restretch.
Yeah, unfortunately, you kind of hope that it wasn't one of those things where they're kind of fired up, ready to go, and then now kind of delaying things a little bit. Hopefully they stay in the mindset that they need to be in.
Now the Boomers will be kicking this off to start the second half. Guymon does receive. And so the Boomer defense will have to continue to be tough. We saw them essentially figure out the Guymon run. There's been a couple plays here and there where they still get them. But for the most part, man, that defensive line, those linebackers there, they are just blowing things up.
Yeah, and that's what, especially on the defensive end, I think a lot of that goes to the Boomer offense and being so young, and they'll, as those young kids see some things on, as they see things on film that they missed and they continue to grow, we know that will get better. But tonight they've got to figure something out to, kind of to really slow down those defensive ends.
And I think for the Boomers on the offensive side, we've talked about Abraham Mendoza. That man has been a one-man wrecking crew. And do you try to double team him, Eric? Do you try to get running back to chip block him? How do you slow that down?
I mean, I think that's the big deal, is figure out a way to just kind of get him off balance, because a lot of times when he's been in the backfield, it's not necessarily untouched, but he's just kind of blowing it up and getting around, just kind of knock him off his course a little bit, and maybe that'll allow Cash to be able to get a good throw off.
We've seen Cash be able to deliver some of those good throws. Ely's mentioned a few times where, even though it's been off platform, it's a tough throw, he still makes it. It's crazy to say, Eric, but so much is expected out of these quarterbacks, even in high school nowadays, because of how the game's evolved. You almost got to be able to make those throws. That's a lot to ask a kid, but it's part of it sometimes. Yeah, and
that's one of those things where, you want to have one of your smarter kids, and hopefully you have a smart, kid with good IQ, also has the physical ability to play the position. And, fortunately for the Boomers, they have that right now in Cash, where, he is a smart kid. He knows, and honestly, in every sport he plays, he reads things very well. And so I think we have, in that, he adds that as QB1. He's also got the strength to get the ball downfield. He recognizes things, and as all of that gets cleaned up, the Boomers are going to continue to move forward.
That they very well could. Ryan Douglas Fisher will be the kickoff man for this one. The Boomers going left to right in front of us. Guymon going right to left to start the quarter.
I think defense here on the first possession really need to get a quick stop.
That'd be nice. We see him do that a few times, right? Just get those quick 3 and outs, because Guymon likes to go fast. So if you could use that tempo against him, get your offense on the field quick, I mean, really it's a time of possession battle in a whole new way, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to watch the referees. It looks like they were trying to get the attention at the booth. It looks like maybe now we're ready to go.
Okay.
Looked like the white cap was out there dancing around for a little bit, but
well, they figured it out. So
as
long as they figured it out.
Again, like you talked about, how Guymon wants to go quick. So if the Boomers can stop that quick, get that momentum, and then turn it over on the offense, or turn it to the offensive side and take advantage of that. That will help give that momentum we need to finish out this game.
So it's Douglas Fisher ready to kick. There's the whistle, and he jogs to the ball, puts it in the air, and we're away in the second half. Back to receive is Ozeta. This one will be Damien picking this one up, trying to get across the 20. Does, gets to the 25, finds a hole, cuts it back hard. He's got it to the 45, the 50, to the 45, and finally chopped down by the kicker, Ryan Douglas Fisher. And boy, found a hole to Damien Ozeta, and Guymon will start with good field position.
Now that really wasn't that big a hole. He recognized it, and he stayed right with his blocker for a while. There was a lead block that I felt like was maybe a hold, but you just got to keep going. You can't worry about if they're holding you or not. And they were able to. The last was it Ryan Douglas Fisher who's the one who made the tackle. I believe the last guy back was able to stop him, or that would have been 6.
So 1st and 10 for Guymon at the Boomer 43 as well. We'll start 11:50 in the third quarter. As we're just underway, it'll be the first offensive play of the half, and a snap handoff. What else? Dunnigan up the middle, gets a couple yards, does stretch it to about, looks like 4. This will be 2nd and 6.
And again, that was Trip Bates on the tackle. He's all over the place tonight.
And a quick flag as Guymon tries to snap, throw the bubble on the outside far side. They do get a few yards out of it, maybe a couple. Flag came in as the snap happened. We'll see what the call is.
Is this going to be a...
Maybe it was a false start and they're declining.
I wonder if it's... Do not remember what that call is.
Is it too many men on the field situation?
Yes, substitution infraction.
Okay, so there it was. Boomers trying to sub in and out, a little weird, and big play. For whatever reason, get it on in time.
You know, but that, again, that goes back to the speed of how quickly the Guymon wants to get in and to get the play started. It didn't. Woodward didn't get their guy into on field quick enough.
And now we got.
Flag on the Boomers, substitution infraction.
Oh, if there's more discussion going on here with the chain gain or what? Looks to be 2nd and 1. Would this be penalty have to be accepted? It looks like maybe they were trying to tack on the yardage or figure that out.
Yeah, it looks like maybe they're going to come back and re-step it off.
Yeah, I think you're right. So that's what they were doing, re-stepping it, trying to make sure they got the proper yardage. And so is that the 35? They put it, or excuse me, is that the 40? They put it at the 35 to make it 2nd and 2. So they had it 2nd and 7, and then stepped it off. So 2nd and 2 for Guymon. In the gun is Martinez, flanked on the right side by 2 running backs. And it looks like some lead blockers. Morton almost gets to him in the backfield, and then a host of Boomers do get to him finally. Still in the backfield. It is a loss of 1.
Number 47, Trip Bates.
And Bowen Morton, you know, he really blew it, like really untouched through the line. Had an opportunity, ran by him, and then Trip Bates and Kason Bourne and, you know, a couple other Boomers in there to actually finish off the play for, you know, do we, looks like a loss of 1 maybe?
Yeah, that's what they got. 3rd and 3 from the 36 of the Boomers. Guymon trying to drive. First offensive possession for them to start the second half. As Martinez in the gun, 2 running backs beside him. A couple receivers out, and a little triple option, if you will, and a pitch late out to his running back, and the Boomers again all over it. First contact was Luke Talley, and then finishing off was Kason Bourne, and that was Isaiah Dunnigan trying to get forward. No gain. No, actually lost 1, they said.
That was a good job by Guymon to recognize. They actually had Talley coming off the end really quick on a corner blitz, and they were able to pitch it, and, you know, Luke ran right by him, and then he was able to, you know, turn around and get back in on the play.
So it brings up 4th and a long 3 is what they'll say. Probably should be 4. Ball's at the 36. Guymon's got to get 2. It looks like 30. They'll go for it, kind of in that range where metrics will tell you to do so. Dunnigan taking the lead, hand off a couple lead blockers, push him forward, push him past maybe the stick. He got it. It's a first down by Isaiah Dunnigan. Had some blockers in front of him, and Guymon gets it on 4th and 3.
Really good job by Dunnigan to follow his blocks, not try to do too much. He just kind of hopped in there, stayed behind his guys when he knew exactly where he needed to be. And as soon as he was past the, past the sticks, then he kind of tried to pick up a couple extra after that.
So that refreshes the 6 for Guymon. 1st and 10 at the Boomer 32, down to 9:25 in the 3rd quarter. Still tied at 8 are the Tigers and the Boomers. As Martinez again in the gun, this time a little jet handoff inside to Andy Orzeta. And he cuts to the right, picks up some yards on 1st and 10, gets down to, looks like the 25, gain of 7. Kind of misdirects the jet sweep.
Yeah, Mason Bourne kind of flying in there, Trip Bates and Bowen Morton also in on the play for the tackle.
So 2nd and 4, they call it, for the Tigers. Martinez hands off inside to Dunnigan. He fell forward a little bit and gets a yard, maybe 2. Call a yard, set at 3rd and 4 now for the Tigers.
If I'm Guymon, that's, you know, a lot of the plays that the Boomers been able to blow up in the backfield is then trying to stretch it out, trying to get as many yards as possible, hopefully a bigger play, and just keep going up the middle and chipping away.
And again, they tried to do so this time. D. Herrera plugged up in the backfield on the misdirection. Levi Harrison on that one, as well as Trip Bates and a few other movers.
Yeah, honestly, that was pretty much all Levi Harris, grabbing him by the ankle and pulling him down. And the other guys were able to finish him off at the end.
Again, Guymon will go for it. 4th and 3 from the Boomer 25. Back to pass, Martinez looking deep. One-on-one for Rosada, and it's broke up, but that's going to be a pass interference. And you've got to turn your head around on that one. That's the
face
issue.
guard. I knew exactly, as soon as he never turned his head around, that they were going to throw the flag on that.
Wasn't really a bunch of contact, but when you don't make the effort to see the ball, that's where they'll throw the flag.
Right.
It's a bit of a learning experience there for the Boomers, as it looks like on the coverage is Luke Talley, the sophomore. So good position, just got to get the head around.
Right, and that's, again, like you said, that's one of those things that, they'll go back, I'm assuming tomorrow, watch film, and they'll just be able to say, hey, turn around and make it look like you're trying to make a play on the ball. You had great coverage on the play, and then that will get cleaned up, hopefully, over time.
So 1st and 10 for the Tigers at the 13. They still get another first down. Martinez takes the snap, hands off straight behind him. That one going to, looks like maybe De Herrera, but doesn't matter because blown up in the backfield yet again. And that was Harris with the hard knock, kind of maybe knocked the wind out of himself.
Yeah, well, they're going over checking. I think he kind of got more than the wind knocked out of him, unfortunately.
Okay, so we'll check on him. Was a loss of 1 on the tackle by Levi Harris.
Yeah, unfortunately, he got his bell rung a little bit, and unfortunately, that may mean he is done for the game. A lot of times nowadays with concussion protocols and things like that, it does not take much for your helmet to get taken away for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and rightfully so. They got to watch that stuff, with all the research that's gone into that for sure. Hey, do want to thank Salient State Bank for powering Boomer Sports. Salient State Bank now with the branch in Woodward at their new location. Visit 2314 Williams Avenue. Salient State Bank Woodward branch offers full-service banking, including personal checking and savings, home and commercial loans, mobile and online banking, as well as wire transfers and more. Thank you, Salient State Bank, for powering Boomer Sports. It looks like Levi Harris is going to get off the field under his own power. Good to see. Like I said, probably just run himself a bit there. So they'll check on him. Man was having a good game.
Yes, really he was. And that's unfortunate. Like I said, they're going to hold on to his helmet. He's going to go in and get looked at by the trainer, the medical staff, to see if he's done for the night, if he enters concussion protocol, or if he's able to get that helmet back on and get out there.
And so for Guymon, it sets up a 2nd and 11. So Martinez in the gun, 1 to the near side, 2 trips to the far side. Running back in the backfield is D. Herrera. As Martinez back to pass, looks to the far side, has a man open short, and it's through his hands. Trying to identify the number over there. It was not a Zeta. Looks to be, that might have been Kevin Sosa, the senior.
You get better eyes than that because it's all coming together over there.
Pretty sure that's 13. They got black numbers, so that's a little hard to hear there.
And they got black numbers and they're narrow numbers, so it's kind of hard. But yeah, that you said right through his hands. And that's exactly what happened. It slipped through his hands.
So 3rd and 11 for the Tigers as Martinez trying to keep it on the read option, not finding much space to go though, as he's swarmed by host Boomers. Maybe gets a yard and finally drugged down. Got about to the line of scrimmage, and then hands started coming in.
Freshman Caleb Hutton was the first one into the backfield. He slipped over. He recognized he had an opportunity, and he was really untouched. And that caused the ball carrier to kind of change directions, which allowed the rest of the Boomers to come in there and finish him off.
So they call it 4th and 9 officially. And it looks like the Tigers might try to get a field goal in as David Martinez, the kicker, is on the field. This one would be a 30-yarder from the tee. In terms of distance, ball is on the 12. Snap is down, kick is no good. Maybe got deflected. That may have been blocked. Ely, did you see anything? Was that blocked?
No, it didn't look like it got blocked. It looked like he kicked a part of the ball stand that the ball sits on. It looked like he kind of got a part of that too. Topped it a little bit.
Unfortunately, I think I'm not sure who was standing there at the goal line. Didn't realize, he didn't catch it. He just let the ball fall at his feet. That's a returnable live ball. So if he would have caught that, I think that would have been a great return. The ball would have been better field position than sitting on the 20.
And the Boomers get a Pioneer defensive stand. Unleash tomorrow's potential with Pioneer Fiber Internet. Get speed and reliability. Surf, stream, and stay connected with Pioneer's Fiber. Pioneer sponsoring the defensive stand all football season long. Corporate sponsor here on Boomer TV and Z92. Boomers take over at their own 20 after the missed field goal. It's Cash Carter in the pistol. Trips to the far, one to the near. Back in the backfield is Parkhurst. Snapped a bit high. Carter gets it down. Hands off to Parkhurst. And he's immediately contacted. Got back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it.
It looks like that. Here we are, first play out. Looks like the Boomers want to try to establish that run game, like you said. See if we can switch things up a little bit. And, I think, the snap may have kind of caused Parkhurst to slow down, wait for the ball to come back down for him to be able to come forward instead of doing it all in one motion.
Now do have a Tiger down. And, Ely, you're down there. Are there holes maybe open in that running game, or have they been a bit tough to come by? We've highlighted Abraham Mendoza being a really force for that Guymon defense. What's kind of happening on that maybe?
Something I've seen I can hear a little bit. I heard you talk about the running game. Something I'd like to see, and I think has been working, is like design quarterback runs. You fake the handoff and you go up the middle. That's been for 12, 15 yards a couple of times. So I'd look to that. I mean, quick runs like that can also open up your throwing game. So I'd look to do some of that this offensive drive and hopefully take the lead.
And, Eric, to that point, you talked about in the first half, Cash Carter did take some hits, but if that's what's successful, as Ely's mentioned, that's what you got to stick with.
Right.
Cash can handle it, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Cash can handle it, and that's the thing is, there's multiple times where it looked like the play was, it might have been a read option, but he wanted to initially hand it off, but because of, whatever the timing got messed up, he decided to keep it and was able to keep the play alive and pick up a few yards.
So out of the injury timeout for Guymon, Boomers will take the field, 2nd and 10 at their own 20. 6:23 to go in the third quarter. As Carter in the pistol, one receiver to the near, two to the far. Man goes in motion as Douglas Fisher. Carter keeps it though on the jet option, plows ahead to the 25 and gets dropped down there. So a gain of 5 on 2nd and 10.
There you go, Ely. You knew exactly. You called it exactly what you want to do.
Quarterback run up the middle. What'd I say?
Yep. Yep, exactly. And Cash did a great job of. It looked like he may have wanted to hand off, but I think initially, in his head, he knew exactly what he was going to do.
So the Boomers taking their time here. Play clock down to 10, getting lined up. Carter will be in the pistol. Two receivers to the near, one to the far. Man backfield behind him. Parker still. 3rd and 5. Carter back to pass, rolling to the near side. Flag early, looking for a man down the sideline as Latal to the corner. And runs over the trainer's table there. And it's incomplete. We'll see what the flag is.
Are they going to get Cash for intentional grounding?
I would hope not. There was a receiver in the air. That flag came out way earlier, I would believe. Came out almost on snap.
The common denominators usually say holding right there.
And they go false start is what they call.
False start and decline it.
Yeah, so that brings up 4th and 5 for the Boomers after the incompletion. So it looks like the punting unit will be on the field. As Ryan Douglas Fisher will trot out. Back deep to return is Ozeta. Damian Ozeta, the senior. That snap a bit high. It's back in the end zone. Douglas Fisher's going to have to pick it up and run out. And he got out of the end zone, gets to the 5, and then gets taken out of bounds at about the 6. So the Tigers instantly going to have 1st and goal. Just unfortunate for the Boomers. That's where they're marking it at the 7, they say. So 1st and goal from the 7 for Guymon. after the miscue on special teams.
I bet come practice on Monday, there's a lot of snapping going on.
I think there may be some snapping going on tomorrow when they come in for film and go back outside. But yeah, there's definitely some work that needs to be done there.
Just a bit out of the reach of Douglas Fisher. Credit to him, filled it into the end zone, made sure to get out, didn't give up the safety. But the Tigers still get the advantage because they got 1st and goal at the 7.
I mean, luckily, you know, there's a lot of times you get down there, balls on the 7, you start getting worried. The way the defense has played tonight, you know, I'm not as worried. Yeah, again, it's easy for them to punch it in, but the defense has done such a good job that, hey, I'm going to trust them here.
We'll see how they do. Martinez in the gun. De Herrera beside him. 1 receiver to the near, 3 to the far side. Hand off to De Herrera. The Boomers beat him at the line of scrimmage and actually well behind it. Back at the 10 as they drop him a host of about 4 or 5 Boomers blowing it up.
Yep, they're going to give him a loss of 2 yards on that.
So he got a little forward progress, but not much, and still a big loss. Pushes him back to the 9.
And that's what one thing I've loved seeing out of the Boomer defense is they just swarm to the ball. You know, it's not a couple guys here and there. Everybody is, once there's an initial touch, everybody's going after the ball.
And Martinez takes the snap out of the shotgun, looking for the out route, and that's incomplete. The Boomers play it tightly. Mason Arnold again there to break it up. Just a little quick out, Eric, that they, you know, put essentially at the line of scrimmage, and the Boomers on top of it in the flats.
Yeah, and Boomers still had on that play, 2 or 3 guys in the backfield. Yeah, a play like that allows for a little bit more penetration by the defense. But the Boomers are making it really tough for the Guymon Tigers tonight.
3rd and goal for Guymon. Martinez back pass again. This time, same out route, and it's through the hands of the receiver. That time had some space and just couldn't hang on to it. I don't think that was Ozeta, but might have been. So 4th and goal for the Tigers. The Boomers trying to make a stand.
That's a tough drop ball to have right there. I don't think he would have been able to get the touchdown, but still to have it hit your hands like that, it's tough.
So 4:39 remaining 3rd quarter. Martinez back pass on 4th down, goes to the end zone. Is that picked off?
I think it is picked off.
Intercepted by the Boomers, and it is Dominique Gordon, the freshman, the coach's son, getting the pick. How about it?
The freshman Dom doing his thing.
Wow. Big pick by Dominique Gordon, making an impact play. The only problem is you're at the 1. But nonetheless, a great stop by the Boomers. And that is a Pioneer defensive stand. Unleash tomorrow's potential with Pioneer Fiber Internet. Get speed and reliability. Serve, stream, and stay connected with Pioneer Fiber. Sponsoring the defensive stand. Pioneer corporate sponsor with us this season on Boomer TV and Z92.
Boomer coaching staff, one adjustment I have seen, you know, they blitzed a lot in the first half. Almost every play they've got somebody coming in on a blitz.
So now the Boomers stuck on their own 1, 1st and goal, or excuse me, 1st and 10 from their own 1. Carter in the gun, high snap, collects it, but handoff in the backfield, and he's not getting out of the end zone, and it's another safety for Guymon. Luke Parkhurst just couldn't quite fight through, so the Boomers get the defensive stop, but still give up the points.
It's that high snap. I mean, honestly, that is one of those. Because of the high snap, it delays the handoff, and it allowed the defense to get into the backfield.
So the Boomers give up the 2. Guymon takes the lead, 10-8 on the Just Wells Chevrolet scoreboard. And the Boomers will have to punt it back, or kick it back, I should say, to the Tigers. So your defense got the big stop. Offense just, and that's a tough decision, folks. I mean, at your own 1, you have to execute flawlessly, as you're mentioning there, Eric. There cannot be any miscues if you're going to be able to get out of that. And you don't almost want to pass it. You don't want to risk the sack. I mean, playbook is very limited.
I mean, I think the call itself was the right call. You know, it's just you've got to be able to execute it, and it wasn't executed.
So the Boomer defense will be up again. And the Guymon retakes the lead with 4:29 to go in the 3rd quarter. The Tigers, we talked about in the pregame, much improved team from the last time we saw them. Obviously, the plan of going independent, trying to build up, is working out. They've got some guys that could definitely play.
Yeah, they've got You know, they've got the speed, they've got athleticism, and we knew that's what Guymon would have. You know, just I've seen it, you know, on the basketball court. They're on the basketball court. They're not the most skilled group of players, middle school, high school, but they've always had athletes. So they're a soccer school. You've got to be an athlete to play soccer, and you know that was going to carry over onto the football field as well.
So Ryan Douglas Fisher on the kick from his own 20. The Ozadas back to return. One on each hatch. Damian and Andy. Douglas Fisher puts the boot into it. That one slicing far side, but fielded by Damian Ozeo. Fields about the 35. Looking for a hole. Gets to the 45. Puts on the Jets. Across the 50 down to the Boomer 45. And gets to the, we'll say the 45, maybe the 44. So Guymon will start in plus position on this drive with 4:22 remaining in the third quarter.
You know, Ozeo being a smaller guy, he does a good job of knowing what he needs to do, and he just kind of hangs out behind his blockers, you know, until he gets the opportunity to jump forward a little bit.
They actually pushed it back a little further. Maybe say he stepped out of bounds, I believe. Initially had another 45. They pushed it back to the 48, so that's where the Tigers will take over. Excuse me, the 47. So at the Boomer 47. And it'll be Martinez back in at quarterback. Went with Vargas for a little bit there in the first half. Been back to Martinez. Two receivers each side bunched in tight. Martinez back to pass, rolling to the right side to quick out. Hits Dunnigan. That time scooped in. Only a gain of about 2, maybe 3.
You know, really, that was the first time in a while that the Boomer defensive line hasn't been able to get the greatest push in the world. You know, and that it's amazing what happens whenever you can't get, you know, can't cause the quarterback to be rushed. He's able to dump it off and make a throw. Fortunately for the Boomers, it was only a 2-yard completion.
So 2nd and 8 upcoming for the Tigers. 4:18 to go in the third. Martinez snap low, just has to fall on it and will instantly be down at the 50. So a big loss on 2nd down. Not what you want to see for Coach Jake Martinez, as the Tigers all of a sudden have a 3rd and long. 3rd and 13.
And I think that's really kind of been the story for both teams tonight, is sloppiness, you know, mistakes, things not being done very clean, you know, has allowed the other team to still have opportunities.
So 3rd and 13 for Guymon. Got to get to the Boomers 37. Martinez back to pass again, this time under pressure. Steps up in the pocket, trying to run. Ball
down.
On the ground. Did the Boomers recover it? They are signaling they did. See what the officials say.
They did.
And they do. The Boomers get it on top of it. Stripped them. Couldn't tell who got the hand in there. There was a swarm of Boomers. Ely, do you got anything on that?
I couldn't quite tell who forced the fumble, but
looks like
number 8, Brody Province was quick to jump on it.
Brody Province,
the freshman. Again, we talk about these freshmen and sophomores. Yeah. You know, they are the ones that were making huge impacts for the Boomers.
And they do so there again. Brody Province on the fumble recovery. So the Boomers get a Pioneer defensive stand, and they will take over at their own, or actually at the Guymon 49 with 3:38 left to go in the third quarter, as Cash Carter in the pistol. 2 receivers to the far side, 2 to the near. Back behind him, Parkhurst. Now checking back to the coaches with 10 on the play clock, signaling Parkhurst to be more of a down blocker position. As Guymon sends a house. Back to pass is Carter, able to roll out, trying to find some space, but under pressure, and they get him deep in the backfield at the 42-yard line. And they tried to adjust to it there, Eric, but he just didn't have any time to get rid of it.
Yeah, I think Guymon may have got away with what would have back in the day been an incidental face mask, but still, you can't allow the defensive ends to get around the corner like that and have open opportunities at your quarterback.
So they make it 2nd and 17, 7-yard loss for the Boomers, as now they're at their own 42, under 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Carter in the gun again, 2 to the far, 1 to the near, man behind the Parkhurst. Takes a snap, rolls to the far side, looking to pass, trying to find a man, has somebody deep. It's Latal signaling. He's double covered though, and that's picked off by the Tigers. Damon Ozeda coming up with the pick. The senior just got in front of Latal. He flashed open there for a little bit, but they were quick to cover.
Yeah, unfortunately, Cash was staring him down the whole way, so it wasn't really there. You know, it was, you knew exactly where the ball was going to go. Unfortunately, there, but again, you know, there was a clean snap, and it gave the Boomers an opportunity to get the ball downfield.
That it did, but the Tigers now take back over. 2:41 left to go in the third quarter. They lead 10-8. They'll have it at their own 26. As Martinez in the gun, the pistol, Dunnigan with them, 2 receivers to the far. 1 to the near, 2 backs in the backfield with them. As Martinez takes the snap, a handoff to Dunnigan up the middle and gets maybe a yard, if that. So the Boomers able again to prove to be strong on that run game inside between the tackles.
Yeah, Bowen Morton and Trip Bates again. He was able to get a hand on him in the backfield and eventually pull him down the line of scrimmage.
Pistol formation for the Tigers. Martinez takes snap. Again, another handoff. This time in the backfield. The tackle made by the Boomers, making that one flying in is Bowen Morton yet again.
Yeah, Brody Province also getting in there on the play. But, you know, again, that's the Boomers. This is going to be what their bread and butter is going to be all year, is the defense. And, you know, so as long as this continues to give them a little bit more confidence.
3rd and 12 for the Tigers. Back to pass, Martinez. Pass, oh, incomplete. And I tell you, Luke Talley skied for that, tried to get a hand on it. Somehow it got past him, and I think Damian Ozeo was surprised because that just slipped through his hands.
Yeah, I think you called it perfectly. He was kind of surprised, and, you know, unfortunately, he dropped it, because if he would have caught that, you know, all he had is really one guy to make miss, and he's gone.
And Talley played it clean, was underneath it, just maybe a little too far, had to try to stretch. So it brings up the 4th and 12 for Guymon. They will have to punt now. A flag comes out. 13 on the play clock. Not sure what's going on. I think Boomer on the far side.
Yeah, I think it's a substitution infraction again.
Looks like that might be the case.
So I think what was going on was there's too many men on the field. One guy ran off. Somebody on the other side recognized that he tried to run off on the other sideline, and it just kind of became a mess. And I think it was a miscommunication. Somebody ran on that wasn't supposed to. Got on.
The good news for the Boomers is it doesn't give up the first down, but it does pull Guymon at least a little closer to the stick. I don't think they'll go for it with the 10-8 lead, but they have gone for it deep in their own territory. No, looks like they'll just settle to punt still. So it will be Ozeta to punt, back deep to return, Latal. He's lined up about his own 35. Minute 49 to go in the third quarter, and now another whistle and another flag.
Maybe
sure not a flag, just stoppage play. See what the call is.
Well, he pulled out his flag and kind of...
Another formation. Maybe too many men on the field for the Boomers, or formation infraction. That's what it is, yep. So now Guymon's all of a sudden at 4th and 2 after back-to-back penalties. Now you're thinking about it if you're Guymon. You got to watch it here for the Boomers. And yeah, Coach Martinez looks like he's going to bring back on his offense.
Yeah, I think this is the right call for Guymon. Might as well.
And now the Boomers swapping as well. So the offense on the field for Guymon, 4th and 2. Tigers trying to quickly get there as the Boomers are caught trying to sub. Martinez, 2 backs in the backfield with him, look for that lead, and sure enough, tries to string it out, cuts it up the field. It's going to be right at the stick. Ooh, that is going to be close. I think he's short by about a half yard.
Yeah, the near referee is saying he's short. The far guy is up a little bit more.
But still on the stick, this is going to be close. And they go with the near referee, so that's short.
Yeah, that one's going to be Boomer ball.
And it is. The Boomers get the stop on 4th and 2. Wow. So you give up 2 penalties, let Guymon get the 4th and 2, and you still come up with the stop.
And I think that's one of those situations where, that he had a better view of where the ball would have been than the guy on the far side. So that's why they went with that one.
So Boomers take it back, trailing 10-8. Minute 40 to go in the third quarter. They'll have it on the Guymon 35.
Obviously, the Guymon coaching staff is not happy about that call.
No. Because, I mean, to the point, they're looking at the guy on their sideline and saying, well, hey, he's closer to stick than the other guy was. So, somewhat understandable that you have that disagreement. And Coach Martinez asking for that explanation.
Looks like he, accepts what he was told for the most part. I mean, no coach wants to accept something that goes against you. But
by the way, a Pioneer defensive stand by the Boomers.
Well, Coach Martinez did shake his head yes and kind of backed away, so he understood what the explanation was.
So Cash Carter out for the offense. In the pistol, trips to the near side. The short side running back behind him looks to be Parkhurst. Now man in motion goes Douglas Fisher. Fakes the handoff. Carter keeping himself as a whole up to the 30, inside the 30, down to the 27. Solid gain on first down.
That was a pretty good sell by Cash. He really, it looked like he was going to pitch the ball back and, brought it all the way behind him before he pulled it back down and, allowed the hole to open up.
Didn't quite give him the 27. They spotted it at the 28. So 2nd and 3 for the Boomers in Guymon territory, trying to get close to the red zone. Minute 10 to go in the third quarter. Carter in the pistol yet again. Trips to the near, one to the far. Man in the backfield, Parkhurst. Snap to Carter. This time, hands it off to Parkhurst. Some initial contact, but plowed forward, got right to the stick. Should be a first down. It's right on the stick. It's going to be close.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to give it to him.
Might be just they give it to him?
Yep.
And they do. So 1st and 10 for the Boomers, and Parkhurst comes away with that 3-yard run. Got just enough here. Just enough.
I think the chain gang didn't think you had first down. Whitecap is pushing them forward, so
clock down to 35 seconds of the third quarter. Boomers do have to get one more snap off as there's 14 on the play clock. Carter in the pistol. Trips to the near, one to the far. Backfield is Parkhurst. Play clock down to 5. Carter milking it. Down to 3. Puts his man in motion, and yeah, that's delay game. Little too late.
No, we have false start, I believe.
Oh, false start. Okay. We'll see if that's called.
Yeah.
Yep, and that's what the call is. So.
Yeah, it looked like Caleb Hutton came up just a little bit right as Douglas Fisher took off running.
So you go from 1st and 10 to 1st and 15. And the clock winds again. We'll see if the Boomers do try to snap it. They don't have to. Down to 10 seconds in the quarter. Carter trying to get the call. Down to 8. He's in the pistol. 2 to the near, 1 to the far. Man backfield to Parkhurst. 4 seconds. Now in motion goes Douglas Fisher. They do get snap off a bit high. Carter just takes himself, cuts it back to the left side, trying to find space. Gets maybe a yard, and that's how we end the third quarter as Guymon takes a 10-8 lead on the Boomers heading into the fourth. The Boomers trying to drive, though, to retake that lead. You're listening to Boomer Football on Z92 and Boomer TV.
There's nothing like being from Western Oklahoma. It's family and community. It's spring storms and winter wheat. It's fall football and summer baseball. And there's one bank that really understands our area. Bank of Western Oklahoma. We've been locally owned from the beginning, and we still are. When you need a bank that understands your unique life, choose Bank of Western Oklahoma, the bank that works as hard as you do. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Feel safe and secure with Arlo Wireless Outdoor Camera, available at Pioneer. Arlo offers top-notch protection with crystal clear video quality, rain or shine. Monitor your home from anywhere with remote smartphone access, whether you're at home or on the go. Arlo keeps you connected to what matters most. Trust Arlo and Pioneer to keep your homes
Tires are put to the test every day, everywhere around the world.
Arlo wireless cameras today. Tackle an endless to-do
Michelin invents the tire that stays safe even worn, with unique Evergrip technologies.
That matter most. That's why you'll appreciate the enduring value
New Michelin
of the
Premier, safe when new, safe when
Designed
worn.
for doers like you, Michelin's longest-lasting tire keeps you on the go longer, so you have one less thing to worry about on your next road trip. Stop in today for miles of uncompromised safety and performance. Visit your local Michelin dealer, High Plains Tire, at 2220 Main in Woodward.
It'll be 3rd and beyond 10 for the Boomers as Carter gets 4. Boomers on the 27 face a 3rd and 11. Got to get inside the red zone to get this first. Guymon just strung that one out a little bit there.
I really feel like, the Boomers, if they could just get 1 or 2 clean plays in a row, that's what they need, but they haven't been able to pull it off.
So minute 15 remaining in the ball game. Boomers trail 10-8, 3rd and 11 at the Guymon 27. Carter in the gun, 2 receivers to the near, 1 to the far. Man in the backfield is Parkhurst, and it's a delay of game for the Boomers. Play clock hit 0. So back him up to make it 3rd and 16.
And we talked about it off air during the break. We're beating ourselves. That's really what's going on. And, it's the first game. I understand that, but and honestly, they've only been in pads for 2 weeks.
Right.
But you've got to figure some of this out moving forward, or it's going to be a tough season.
So 3rd and 16. Carter in the gun, got extra protection, back to pass. Guymon able to break through, trying to pursue him. Carter launches one down the sideline, trying to find a man. It's overthrown, incomplete. Looked like maybe Colt Moore was the target. No, excuse me, that was Luke Talley, the target on the far sideline, and just couldn't connect with him. So the Boomers now facing a 4th and 16 from the Guymon 32.
And I think you got to go for it.
Kind of in an odd punt range. If you were to try to do that. No, excuse me, that was Colt Moore, the intended receiver. I should have trusted my gut. Thought I saw 3. Looks like Ryan Douglas Fisher may punt this one.
You're going to go for the field goal.
The field goal is called. Okay.
Okay. Well, he's got the leg to do it.
We'll see. This will be a long one here. And you're down to 5 on the play clock.
They're going to have to call timeout.
Yeah, and they do. That one came a little late, maybe. So now you talk about it. Field goal, that would be an interesting decision. Be a long one. First, though, I'd like to thank M&D Enterprises and Lawnmower Shop for powering Boomer Sports. For your best lawn, porch, or patio, M&D Enterprises and Lawnmower Shop are your people. They carry everything you need to make your greenscape that little piece of heaven you have always dreamed of. Locations available in Woodward, Ken, and Weatherford. M&D Enterprises and Lawnmower Shop powering Woodward Sports this season. So, fellas, do you rock with the field? I mean, the field goal will put you up. Is it a bad try here? But you're looking at a pretty long attempt, 40-plus yards.
You're looking at a long attempt. You are looking at somebody who, has the leg to do it. It's just a question of can everything be clean enough to make it happen. I initially thought maybe they're going to show one of those pooch kicks, but actually go for it, because we know that Ryan Douglas Fisher can do some stuff at quarterback.
He is backup quarterback and started the season last year at quarterback.
And that is something that adds a little wrinkle that adds to it. But, again, with he has the leg to do it. It's just can we make everything clean enough to make it happen?
So it should be, I believe, a 48-yard field goal from where the kick occurs for Douglas Fisher. The ball's on the 32. Snaps clean. Ball down. Kick in the air. Does it have the distance? Did it get through? No, good, they say. Just sliced away.
It had the distance. It was just to the left of the upright.
Just a little off. Good attempt for Douglas Fisher. You mentioned everything's got to be clean. Had the clean snap, clean hold. Just a touch off.
And again, one thing we didn't talk about too, which the wind, I guess, has dropped off. Earlier in the game, there was much more of a wind.
And now it's pretty much nothing.
Coming from the south. But
you would have liked to have that wind behind your back in that scenario because they would have had it in that scenario. But Guymon takes over, still with the lead, 10-8 with 10:36 remaining. And they'll spot the ball at the 24th after the missed kick.
So I guess, really, if you think about it, kicking it doesn't hurt you too much because you're still forcing them to move back. You take an opportunity, and you have your defense is playing great right now. So
Vargas back in at quarterback. He'll toss it out to Dunnigan on the right side. Finds a bit of a hole. Gets across the 25 up to the 27. And Dunnigan near a first down. Solid gain on first down. Sits up second and about 3, maybe 2 for the Tigers as they go no huddle. Vargas with the quick bubble pass, and that's incomplete through the hands of his intended receiver, Andy Rosada. So now it's a quick 3rd and 2 for the Tigers. They really try to rush that line and hit you with the speed.
Yeah, I was looking to see who was wearing number 35 for the tackle in the play before. Darren Endersby.
And Vargas takes the low snap, hands off to Dungan, trying to fight forward. It's going to be close. I don't know if he got back to line of scrimmage. And it's a 4th and short for Guymon.
Looks like they got him right at the line of scrimmage.
And is Guymon going to punt this, or they're kind of swapping out some players? This may be a heavy package. We'll see how they go. Zeta's dropping back as if he's going to punt. Kind of surprising on the 4th and 2, but you are at your own 28. You've got the lead.
Right, and that's the thing is, and the Boomer offense hasn't really been able to do a whole lot. So, just pin them back as far as you can and trust your defense.
So Cooper Liddell back to return another one. Low snap. Zeta's going to try to launch it, and just his receiver wasn't looking. Had a step, and his receiver was not looking, so the trick play fails. And it's a Pioneer defensive stand for the Boomers.
I don't hate the call. I mean, really, because nobody was expecting it. That close a game with where you're at, nobody's expecting that to happen. So, if it could have been executed, that might have been 6, with the line that he had going downfield.
So with 9:33 remaining in the ball game, Boomers take back over, trailing 10-8. They will have good field position at the Guymon 28, just outside the red zone. Can they capitalize? Cash Carter in the pistol. 2 receivers in the air, 1 to the far. Tight end in case of Bourne. Man behind him is Luke Parkhurst in the backfield. Snap taken. Handoff inside to Parkhurst. He bounces out to the left side, has a hole, gets across the 25, down near the 20. And that's the first down type run we've been needing.
That's one of our better plays of the night right there. We still picked up
7.
7. But again,
good
clean snap, good blocking. The offensive line got a little bit of a push forward. Everything you need came together right there. Now just continue this moving forward.
So Boomers 2nd and 3. Carter in the pistol again. Same formation. Again, a handoff to Parkhurst, trying to find some space. Gets across the 20. Falls down near the stick at about the 18. It's going to be a 3rd and 1 if it's short. And it looks like it is short by about a yard. So 2-yard run there, and then Boomers trying to work.
A good job by Parkhurst to recognize.
Oh, nope, they gave him the first.
Okay.
Thought that initially they were going to call it short, but they gave him the first.
But Parkhurst, he recognized the fact that if he would have went outside, he would have been hit almost immediately. He took what he had and pushed forward.
So 8:30 to go in the ball game. Boomers trying to drive in the red zone. 1st and 10. The Guymon 18. Carter, another handoff again to Parkhurst. Trying to be patient, trying to find a hole. Fights forward for a few yards. Makes it about 3, so not a bad run on first down.
I think honestly, what the Boomers are doing here is they're playing the clock game. If they can just continue to push forward a couple yards, they're in field goal range. We've seen what his leg. We've seen the leg, 48-yard.
Yep.
Had an opportunity. So just keep it in the middle of the field and eat as much clock up as possible and put yourself in a chance to win the game.
They actually only give them 2, so 2nd and 8 from the 16. Carter in the gun again, the pistol. 2 receivers to the near, 1 to the far. Running back in the backfield is Parkhurst. Tight end on the near side. Snap to Carter. Does he hand off again? He does. Parkhurst finds a little bit of a hole. Gets to the 10. A flag comes in late. Oh, that'd be unfortunate because he would have been near the first down. Wouldn't have got it, but would have been near. And if this is a hole for the Boomers, that's tough, and it is. So you go from what would have been 3rd and short to now 2nd and very long.
Yeah, I couldn't quite tell who actually made the hold, but I saw the defender kind of change direction like somebody had grabbed him.
We'll see where they mark the hold was and where they stamp it off. If it was at the line of scrimmage or a little bit ahead. Looks to be more at the line of scrimmage. So for the Boomers, it will be indeed 2nd and very long. It should be a 2nd and 18. And yes, they mark it back to the 26. So 2nd and 18, 7:35 remains the ball game. Boomers trail 10-8.
I say keep running though.
See how the call plays out. Carter in the gun, 1 to the near, 2 to the far. Running back is Parkhurst, and again another handoff. This time lead blocker is Casey Bourne. He's got some blocks. Cuts up to the 15, down to the 14, inside near the 12. And it's not going to be a first, but a heck of a gain on second and long.
That's what I said. Keep running. That's like the 6th play with positive yardage without the penalty. You know, the Boomers are obviously, they've worn down the Guymon defense. They're starting to get a little bit of a push up front. Let's just keep pushing it. Again, like I said, take us much time off. Unfortunately, you know, they need to get the ball back to the middle of the field on this play in case they have to kick the field goal.
So 3rd and 4 from the 13. Boomers have to get to the 9 for the first. Carter and the gun again. Another snap in there. Handoff to Parkhurst. This time gets tripped up in the backfield. Does get to about the line of scrimmage. And that's it. So it's 4th down for the Boomers. 4th and 4 with 6:40 and a timeout. It looks like a Tiger down. Got a little banged up. So with 6:37, clock stopped on the injury timeout. Boomers trail 10-8, but are in field goal range. Do want to thank the Bearded Barber for powering Boomer Sports. If you need a fresh cut, head to the Bearded Barber and Woodward. From classic trims, to modern styles, they've got you covered. Experience top-notch grooming in a laid-back atmosphere. Walk in today and leave looking sharp. Bearded Barber located upstairs in the 101 Center next to the K101 studios. Thanks to the Bearded Barber for powering Boomer Sports this season. So, as they tend to the injured Guymon player, Boomers are in field goal range. Eric brought it up, Ely, that, hey, you've seen the foot. The snaps look clean. Do you just stick with that field goal call, or do you try to push it?
I think I'd go for the field goal again. I mean, you got to realize it was a deep one. He almost made it. Every second time's a charm. You're a lot closer. You can focus a little more on the accuracy. So
And that
I think I agree with the field goal call.
And that looks to be it, as the holder will be Colt Morton. And Ryan Douglas Fisher will get this teed up. Ball is at the 13. He'll kick this from it looks like about the 18. It's a 28-yard kick for Douglas Fisher. Snap, good. Ball down clean, but it's blocked at the line of scrimmage. Kason Bourne collects it. He tries to drive forward, and that's no whistle yet. They're still letting it play, and finally they call it dead. And the Boomers can't get the field goal from the short range.
And that's what, you know, we talked about the first field goal. Everything worked out perfect. You know, that one, the snap was just a tad low. They got the push up front. We didn't have the blocking, and they were able to get a Paul on it.
So Guymon takes it over, back on their own 20 with 6:26 remaining in the ball game. They do lead 10-8 on your Just Wells scoreboard. And so Boomer defense, though, guys, has been strong. It's continued to be, I mean, they've given up one touchdown. That was at the beginning of the game. The other points have come from safeties. So see if you get another quick stop here. As it'll be Vargas in at quarterback this time for the Tigers. Two running backs beside him. A little bit of a miscommunication. Didn't have anybody hand it off to him. The Boomers are wrapping them up in the backfield with the host of Boomers. Just a blown play by the Tigers.
Yeah, Corvin Smarka read that perfect, and as soon as the snap came, nobody got a hand on him, and he was in the backfield, and kind of allowed a couple other Boomers to come in and help finish out the play. But great job by Smarka.
So it's a 2nd and 14 for Guymon. Vargas back to pass, has some time, taking a deep shot, looking for Ozeta. Got a couple guys on him, and he drops the pass. Wow, Vargas laid in a dime, and Ozeta couldn't haul it in.
You see opportunities like that where when you play other teams that have a little bit better offenses, those are going to hurt. And so we've done great at the line. Our linebackers have done a great job of swarming to the ball. We got to be able to knock that down.
3rd and 14, snap, handoff inside to Herrera. Ball's out. Do the Boomers fall on it?
No.
No, they say 4th down. No, they say Boomer ball. Okay, I thought they were going to say 4th down. No, Boomer ball on the fumble. De Herrera, maybe a little bit of an off exchange, and the Boomers come up with it.
Everybody's giving Smarko a high five. It looks like he may have been either the one that knocked the ball out or recovered the ball, but he's unfortunately he's limping off the field right now.
So the Boomers take over 1st and goal as they've got it at the, looks like, 9-yard line with 5:42 remaining. Carter in the pistol. One receiver to the near, one to the far. Takes the snap, a handoff. No, he pulls it himself, trying to stretch the edge. A Guymon Tiger on him, though, chops him down right at the 9. A good read by Isaiah Dunnigan, the junior.
I was following Parker's.
Yeah, it was a good fake by Carter, but a good read by Dunnigan to stretch that out. So that makes it 2nd and goal from the 8. They say get about a yard of progress.
Fortunately, it looks like Samarco's limping off was just a cramp.
That's good to hear. As Carter in the pistol, one receiver to the near, two to the far, tight end on the far as well, and Parker's in the backfield. Play clock at 10. Carter takes the snap. A little bit of misdirection on the handoff maybe, looking to run. Now flag comes out as Carter able to fight forward to the 5 before he's taken down, but this might be a hold.
This might be a hold. They may go ahead and go with the false start because it looked like maybe Parker's was coming forward before the, like right as the snaps came, he was already moving forward, so we'll see what happens.
Obviously, the Boomers prefer the false start, less yardage driven back. Let's see what the call is. It is going to be on the Boomers, and it is a hold.
It is a hold, okay.
So, came out early in that play. Didn't know quite where we were going to go with it. So now you go from 2nd and goal from the 8 to 2nd and goal from the 18.
Baiting ourselves. I mean, that's exactly, again, you get down in there, you have an opportunity to score, and then you have a mistake that backs you up.
So Carter will have it in the pistol. 2 receivers to the far, 1 to the near, back in the backfield is Parkhurst, tight end on the far side. Carter with a hard count, now trying to motion his man. Moore says no. There's a little bit of disagreement there between the youngins.
Yeah, I think Moore recognized the fact that
Alley motion. And the snap draws a flag. So this is going to be a false start. Maybe they were trying to decoy the jet sweep a little bit. It looks like it may be a false start call. And that is what the call is, false start on the Boomers. So you go to 2nd and goal from the 23 now. So you back up on consecutive plays, and now the issue is you're pushing yourself to deeper field goal range as well.
Right. And that's, honestly, I would just let Parkhurst have it and
try to claw some yards back.
Get some yards back and go for the field goal again. I mean, really.
So yeah, the Boomers play it. 2nd and goal from the 23. Had the 1 yard run and then 2 penalties afterwards. Carter in the pistol, receiver near, 2 to the far, 1 of the backfield's Parkhurst. Tight end on the far side, again goes in motion. Does Moore. Fake handoff. Carter with some blocks, trying to leak through, gets to the 15, okay. Chops it down to about the 13, so got plenty of yards there to make it a 3rd and somewhat manageable.
Now I'm just wondering if that's what they were wanting to do on the last play, you know, because they really sold. It looked like, you know, they were going to able to get the handoff on the jet sweep, and you know he pulled it in and picked up some yards.
So 3rd and a goal from the 14 for the Boomers. Clock down to 3:45 remaining in the ball game. They trail 10-8 to the Tigers. Are in field goal range. The last one was blocked from this range. As Carter in the pistol. Cover receivers bunch tight on the far side. Takes the snap, rolls to the far side, looking to pass. Going towards the end zone, trying to find Douglas Fisher and just can't get him. Boomers are wanting the flag. I don't think they're going to get it, as there was double coverage by Guymon and the throw just a touch out of range.
I think that's what is saving Guymon is the fact that it was probably an uncatchable ball, but it looked like they reached out and you really tripped up Douglas Fisher in the end zone.
And again, the Boomers will kick a field goal. This one just a yard further than the last one. Ball's on the 14. Kick will be 29 yards in total. Oh, excuse me, they take the tees at the 19. So 29-yard field goal for Douglas Fisher. Last one was blocked. Trying to take the lead are the Boomers. Snap, ball down clean. Kicks up, and it's blocked again by the Tigers. And they'll recover it. And Guymon comes up with back-to-back blocked field goals. And now it's crunch time for the Boomer defense. So 29-yarder blocked. Wow. So Guymon will take over where they recovered that, about the 24.
And the Boomers are having a lot of the same troubles they had last year. Was just being an undersized offensive line. again, Guymon was able to get that initial push, and, there was not a whole lot that, Douglas Fisher could do to get up over him. They were too far in the backfield.
So 1st and 10 for the Tigers at their own 24. They lead 10-8 on the Just Well Chevrolet scoreboard. It looks like Vargas back in at quarterback. Has a back in the backfield with him. Trips receivers to the far, one to the near. Takes the snap, looking for the bubble. It's not quite there. Now tries to throw it late, and that's well incomplete. Well covered by the Boomers. And big for the Boomers because Guymon stops the clock on their own.
Yeah. And that a lot of that was Bowen Morton getting into the backfield and forcing Vargas to throw the ball quicker than he wanted to.
So 2nd and 10 for Guymon from their own 24. 3:19 remains. Vargas again, quick snap, looking for the bubble again. This time has a receiver caught by Ozeta, trying to fight forward. Gets a few yards, but not much. Makes it 3rd and about 6. Looks like Damian Ozeta on the catch. So 3rd and 6 for the Tigers as the clock runs under 3 minutes now. 10-8, the Tigers lead. You figure they're going to try to drain this clock a bit. As Vargas stays in at quarterback, he'll have Dunnigan in the backfield with him. 2 receivers to the near, 2 to the far. Excuse me, they flip it. Now they get 2 receivers to the far, 1 to the near. And an up back. Vargas with the quick snap, fakes the handoff. Again, the bubble screen this time has room. Lowering the shoulder, and the Tigers got the first down. Trying to see who that receiver was that got it, but that's a big first down for Guymon. And that one wound up going to Jonathan Christensen, usually a linebacker. So a gain of 7. 1st and 10 for the Tigers at their own 35. Clock's at 2:29. Momentarily stopped for the first down.
I think unless the clock stops for any reason, play-wise, they're going to have to start using timeouts.
Bounds. I apologize because the play clock or the game clock's not running. So they marked him out. Kind of a break for the Boomers. That's Vargas in the gun. Couple of receivers. This time they do hand off the Boomers right there in the backfield to blow it up. Yet again, that time Corbin Zamarco getting through.
Yeah, again, that's, I think, a lot of times, we hadn't called his name a lot, but I think a lot of, these opportunities for the linebackers to get back there, a lot of it is caused by Corbin Zamarco getting in the backfield.
So it's a 3-yard loss. The Boomers take the timeout with 2:24 remaining. They're down to 1 timeout. Guymon has all 3. Do want to thank Smith & Co. Auction and Realty for powering Boomer Sports this season. Oklahoma's real estate and land auction experts. Smith & Co. is your #1 choice for all your land auctions and real estate needs. Call them at 580-254-3975. Appreciate Smith & Co. for powering Boomer Sports. So the Boomers will have 1 more timeout to work with. Guymon's got a 2nd and 13. So theoretically get 1 more clock stoppage. You bring it up to 3rd down on that. Still going to get probably a minute and a half if everything goes right. And the punt game for the Tigers hasn't been strong.
No, and that's the thing. Even if it becomes 3rd and long and they want to try to throw it, maybe you force that incomplete pass and stop the clock.
So here we go, 2nd and 13. Vargas in the gun, just going to hand it off inside to Dunnigan, and the Boomers right there again on him at the line of scrimmage. Host of Boomers dragging them down. Looks like maybe a loss of 1.
I think Coach Gordon is trying to decide if he wanted to go ahead and use it or let it run down this time. And
right, you play with the time factor. You say, okay, do I want to keep a time out of pocket and have, 30 less seconds probably on the game clock when you get back, or do you burn the timeout? No, you got to go. So they do burn it. It's going to be a 3rd and 14 for Guymon out of the timeout. And guys, I mean, you're probably hoping really, truly, with the way this defense is playing, if you could house another punt return, that would almost be optimal. Because this defense has given up hardly anything.
Yeah, again, it's like I said, maybe because it's 3rd and long, maybe they try to take a little bit of a shot. You get lucky there, get a little bit extra time. But, again, and honestly, think about this. There was multiple times where we could have got a hand on the punt. I think once we actually did get a fingertip on a punt. So you also have that factor of maybe we can get a block punt and get better field position. So there's still opportunities for the Boomers.
3rd and 14 out of the timeout for the Tigers. Ball in their own 31. They lead 10-8, 2:12 remaining in the ball game. Boomers trying to win the home opener as Vargas in the gun. Takes the snap, hands it off up the middle. gets a few yards to the Tigers, but it's only going to be about 1. And they play it safe, so that brings up 4th and long. Dunnigan on the carry. And Guymon just trying to play the long game here. They feel confident about their defense.
Boomer's going to get the ball with about 1:20 by the time they get to their first offensive play.
So we'll see how the field position turns out. Again, Ozeta has not been the deepest punter. Vargas is out there. Guymon might try to, are they trying to go for this? Or are they trying to pooch punt? It's miscommunication for them.
They're going to have to call timeout.
They're just going to run the clock down and take the timeout. So that's all it was, trying to burn the maximum clock. Tigers had 3 timeouts obviously in the pocket. Say, okay, we'll maximize our time there. And yeah, it'll probably wind up about 1:20, exactly like you said, by the time you play out the 4th down play. So, and the Boomers again, we've seen the range from Douglas Fisher. You've had 2 blocked, you had 1 miss. It's there if you get into field goal range. It's not out of the question.
Yeah, unfortunately, you thought you had, really 2 gimmies.
Yeah.
And to be at this point in the game for the Boomers, a lot of it is on themselves. They haven't been beat tonight. They have beat themselves. You just hope that things come out clean now when it matters. Clean it up next week and head to Dodge City after a win.
So Cooper Lataw back to return the punt again, this time standing at his own 35. Ozeta back to punt. Takes that, clean snap, the quick punt, high kick, not going very far, not even going to get to Lataw. Guys got to watch out, make sure it doesn't hit him. It doesn't. And the Boomers going to get pretty good field position in their own territory, but near the 50 at the 47. Now, how can you execute essentially a 2-minute offense with no timeouts? 1:16 remains.
I mean, I think really, you roll out, you try to hit some of those, shorter passes to Lataw that we've had opportunity. We've hit a couple, we've had opportunities on others. You hit them right on the sideline. And just kind of chip away at it and see what happens.
I would say to Cash Carter, trust your legs too. If it's not there, don't force it. Get some yards, get out of bounds. It's 1st and 10 for the Boomers at their own 47, trailing 10-8, 1:16 to go in the home opener. Trying to open the season with the dub. Carter in the pistol, trips formation, 3 to the near, 1 to the far. Parkhurst behind Carter in the backfield. No tight end with formation. Guymon with 6 in the box. Carter takes the snap, back to pass, looking to the left side, now rolling to the right side. Running out of time, he's just going to throw it out of bounds, incomplete. 7 ticks off the clock there, down to 1:09 left, 2nd and 10 for the Boomers. And this is where it's, kind of a tightrope, Eric. You got to look for plays, but you also got to keep in mind you need first downs to continue going, and you're battling the clock and all that.
Yeah, and I think he had a split-second opportunity to make a pass along the sideline. Unfortunately, one of the DNs kind of got back there, was able to kind of push him off a little bit, and he had to just throw away.
So Carter in the gun, this time empty set. Trips to the near, 2 to the far. Takes the snap, back pass again, has some time, now sees some pressure. Fading back, has a man near the sidelines, through the hands, ooh, almost intercepted. As Parkhurst was there on the far sideline, would have got some yards, just couldn't quite haul it in. And it's incomplete, 3rd and 10 for the Boomers, and we got a Boomer offensive lineman there.
We've got a couple of Boomers that are kind of hauling a little bit down there. It has been a long, hard-fought game tonight.
It's been a physical.
And again, this is the first game of the year. It always takes a lot more out of you because you're not fully acclimated to playing a full game.
Looks like Azalea Flores, he back up by himself and just kind of lifting off the field. May have taken a bit of a shot there to put it.
Taking it where you didn't want to take it.
No, yeah, so he'll recover on the sideline. I think he'll be okay, at least after about a minute or so. So he'll come out momentarily. 3rd and 10 for the Boomers. Got 1:02 left. Now you need to find a stop. You've got no timeouts. They're still showing 1 on the scoreboard. I don't think that's correct.
Yeah, I don't think they have any more timeouts.
So Carter in the gun, pistol formation. 2 to the near, 1 to the far, tight end on the near side, Parkhurst in the backfield. Carter takes the snap, back to pass yet again, trying to find something on 3rd and 10. Has man over the middle. Oh, dangerous though, as Colt Moore couldn't quite get his hands on it, and breaking it up was Ramon Ocha. And just almost got a piece of it to intercept that one. Now it's do or die time for the Boomers with 57 seconds. You're down to 4th and 10. It was open for a minute, Eric, but Ocheda just made a great defensive play there. So pistol formation again for Carter. 2 to the near, 1 to the far. Backfield is Parkhurst. 4th and 10. Here it is. Carter looking, trying to find something. Taking a deep shot, looking for Latal. Latal can't quite haul it in. And no flags. And it's a turnover on downs. Wasn't a bad placement from Cash Carter. Just couldn't quite make the connection. It would have been a tough catch for Latal. Tight defense by the Tigers.
Yeah, Cash really slung it there. He might have had an opportunity if he would have pulled it down and took off with it. You know, again, you got to make sure you get out of bounds in those situations. But, you know, he did the best he could in that situation with what Guymon gave them. And unfortunately wasn't able to connect with Latal.
50 seconds remains. Guymon, 10-8 lead. Boomers, they're still showing the one timeout. Again, we don't think that's correct. We think they are down to 0. So Guymon most likely going to try to deal this one out. Boomers, though, it's just week 1. We'll go on the road the next 2 weeks. We mentioned going to Dodge City next week. That will be the season opener for Dodge City. So you'll face a good crowd there if you're the Boomers. And then you'll make that trip to Ranger Field in Alva in week 3. You'll begin district play coming back here to Boomer Stadium against Elgin.
As I like to say, going home.
That's right.
That's my second home.
Yeah. Well, in Ely, I guess technically
Yep.
2 now. It's okay. We won't hold it against you once we get to week 3.
Yeah, the guy who doesn't have to drive at all.
Yeah, he just gets to chill. So the Guymon Tigers do take the snap. They take the knee. And as we figured, the Boomers not going to use the timeout if they have it, because it's kind of unnecessary at this point. So the Tigers will get their first win against the Boomers since 2007. Kind of eerily similar. Defensive battle there, 11-6. And this one going to be 10-8 as the second knee. And that will be the ball game. The Guymon Tigers defeat the Boomers on week 0 here at Boomer Stadium. And the Tigers continue their winning ways. We'll step aside for a quick break, come back with the post-game wrap-up, hand out a player of the game for the Boomers, and get you prepped for what's ahead for the rest of the week, including Boomer Football. You're listening to Boomer Football on Z92 and Boomer TV.
Tired of complicated Wi-Fi management? Go Pioneer Smart Wi-Fi makes it easy. With Go Pioneer Smart Wi-Fi, you can set your Wi-Fi password, view all your connected devices, and even run speed tests all from your phone. Need to set up parental controls? No problem. Simple, smart, secure. Stay connected and in control with Go Pioneer Smart Wi-Fi. Visit GoPioneer.com to learn more.
Life never stops moving. Between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up, like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety you expect, you can lose track of the miles and focus on what really matters, the memories made along the way. Stop in today at 2220 Main in Woodward to see your local Michelin dealer, Pipe Lanes Tire.
There's nothing like being from Western Oklahoma. It's family and community. It's spring storms and winter wheat. It's fall football and summer baseball. And there's one bank that really understands our area, Bank of Western Oklahoma. We've been locally owned from the beginning, and we still are. When you need a bank that understands your unique life, choose Bank of Western Oklahoma, the bank that works as hard as you do. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Back at Boomer Stadium as week 0 for the Boomers come to a close. The Guymon Tigers get the win, 10-8 over Woodward. And looking at the second half stats, the scoring summary at least, it was pretty much 0-0, right? So you won, or excuse me, 10-8 because you did 2 points. You had 1 safety for Guymon in that second half. Otherwise, Eric, the Boomers had some chances. You had a long field goal.
Nothing like being from Western Oklahoma. It's family and community. It's spring storms and winter wheat. It's fall football and summer baseball. And there's one bank that really understands our area. Bank of Western Oklahoma. We've been locally owned from the beginning, and we still are. When you need a bank that understands your unique life, choose Bank of Western Oklahoma, the bank that works as hard as you do. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
My goodness, that defense was locked in all night. After the first drive, Guymon did not score any offense.
Yeah, and even in the first drive, you know, the Boomers had players in the backfield, you know, and it kind of came back to what I said in the pregame was over pursuing. Once they settled down, you know, we were able to kind of rattle up, you know, and that is the bright spot.
Tires are put to the test every day, everywhere around the world. Michelin invents the tire that stays safe even worn with unique Evergrip technologies. New Michelin Premier, safe when new, safe when worn.
I know, like, back in the day, you used to have like a month to get ready, but now you got heat acclimation and all that kind of stuff before they let you put on pads. And honestly, having just 2 weeks with a young team, a lot of that shows.
Anyone else?
And even offensively, it kind of started to get a little bit more cleaner as the game went on. You know, and so you just hope that
it's the personal price plan theorem.
You say, okay, we're struggling here.
If you bundle your home
picking it up here
and auto,
now let's work on this area.
That can equal an affordable price.
You know, you start
just for
trying
you.
to become
Bundling.
more
Just another way to save with the personal price plan.
And, you know, part of that was on the offensive side. We talked about some of those penalties. You got to clean those up. That's something you can't afford. The high snap stopped as the game went on, so you clean that issue up. But you got to make sure you're succeeding on first, second down, right? To set up those either third and shorts or in a position to keep the drive going. So did clean up as it went on. Just in case maybe a little too late at the end there. And we talked about the special teams. You get the touchdown for the punt return, but field goal wise, it's just unfortunate they don't capitalize on those opportunities.
And I liked what I saw as far as, you know, when they started to get Parkhurst going.
Yeah.
You know, we were able to get a little bit of a push. I mean, we had 6 or 7 straight positive yard plays. Unfortunately, you had a holding penalty in the middle of that backed us up. You know, and there was another time where it looked like maybe we were going to get some kind of push. Another holding penalty backed us up. So it's fixing the mistakes and not beating yourself. And, you know, you're going to get that with young teams.
Definitely. So, of course, now we move on to our Bank of Western Oklahoma Player of the Game. You tell me if you agree with this or not. I think it's Bo Morton. That man was blowing everything up all night long.
And I was going to say Bo Morton, Trip Bates. I mean, you could give it to the linebacking crew.
Yeah.
You know, because those guys were all over the ball throughout the night.
So there you go. We'll go with the Bank of Western Oklahoma Players of the Game.
Players, okay.
And go with the linebacking crew. Doing a phenomenal job tonight. Really stuffing up the Guymon attack. And hope to see that continue going forward. So, some updates on Boomer events as we kind of head into the weekend, the Labor Day weekend. We did mention at the top of the broadcast, Boomer softball today had a doubleheader, a district doubleheader against Mount St. Mary's. They took the first game 12-7, got the game to 11-0. So, a sweep there of Mount St. Mary's. They improved to 10-4 on the season. Their next time out will actually be Tuesday against Alva. That'll be a non-district contest there at Boomer softball field. Was originally scheduled to be a 3-way with Shattuck included in that. Shattuck pulled out, so it's just 5 o'clock that game Tuesday, Boomer softball field. And the cross-country team, they are out at Mustang Saturday morning. They're coming off their first meet of the season last week. The boys finished third. Dathan Custer won the boys meet there. And the girls, solid finish as well, was 7th overall and led by Kennedy Roach with 11th place finish. Chloe Clements 13th as well. So support them as they go tackle Mustang on Saturday morning. We mentioned already next week the Boomers travel to Dodge City as the Red Demons will open their season. And the Boomers with already a game on the belt. We'll see what challenge the Boomers can bring there. Of course, also want to remind you Sooner Sports making their debut, if you will, at least as far as game goes, tomorrow on Z92. Pre-game 3 o'clock, kickoff at 6 as the Sooners host Temple. If you're wondering, well, what happened to OSU Sports? They're on K101 now, so they'll make their K101 debut on Saturday. Of course, we'll also have Friday Night Quick Scores tomorrow night on K101 with CJ Montgomery and the crew.
Man, the Pokes got a tough game this week.
They do, and speaking of tough, Colorado, Big 12 opponent, also a tough game. North Dakota State right there within 4 in the fourth quarter. So, yeah, I believe we'll have potentially Dave Hunziker call in for Quick Scores tomorrow and kind of give us a breakdown on that OSU game. So that'll be good to hear. Well, with that all said, I do want to thank, of course, all the great help at Boomer TV. Chris Godwin, all the students helping out, doing a wonderful job tonight. First broadcast in the books, and we'll continue to improve and enhance that as we go along. They put in a lot of hard work to make sure that everything runs smooth, best it can, as we bring you the best of both worlds. Back at the studio, Jerica, board hopping, her first board hop game of the her career, so congrats, good there. Sean Kelly as well helping out. And Sean Kelly, you want to talk about putting in a lot of work. Mr. Kelly definitely did that, as he always does, in prep for the season, so we very much appreciate him. Got to thank our great sponsors. Pioneer, a corporate sponsor with us. They will bring you the defensive stands all season long. Wayne Matthews of State Farm bringing us the start of the lineup. Just Well Chevrolet, they are our scoreboard sponsor. Bank of Western Oklahoma bringing us the player of the game. And High Plains Tire bringing us the halftime stats. And everybody, have a great Labor Day weekend. And we hope to see you next week as the Boomers take on the Dodge City Demons. You were listening to Boomer Sports on Z92 and Boomer TV.